Ladies and gentlemen, another year of Wreckin' Ram football. We come to you here in week one from the Hoss, Ruston, Louisiana, where your Acadiana Wreckin' Rams will be taking on the number one team in the state, the Ruston Bearcats. With you again, another season. Play-by-play man Cole Gilbo on the side of me, my good friend and broadcast partner Nick Fodno. Nicker, how excited are you to watch the Rams play this season?
I mean, football came upon us. It like snuck up on us, and we were waiting for it and talking about it. And it's finally here, week one. And I mean, what a marquee matchup to start the season with two teams that played in the Superdome last year for state championships. One of them, Acadiana High, didn't quite get it done, but a lot of people coming back from that team. And then, of course, Ruston defeating Zachary in their state championship game, and they are the defending 5A champs. So, I mean, as big a game as you can have in the state of Louisiana in a week one matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it just a second ago, Acadiana wasn't able to get it done last year, but they do return 16 starters on both sides of the ball. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the most senior-heavy teams I've ever seen Acadiana have. I want to say they have 25 to 30 seniors on this football team, so a lot of upperclassmen leadership in this team. And, I mean, you start week one, obviously, at Ruston. You at home next week against Zachary, and then you go on the road at STM. If you can find a way to win just two of those games, and you're looking really good, starting the season.
Well, we always talk about how the standard for this program is the Superdome. I mean, that's just what it is. So saying a phrase like, dome or bust or state championship or bust, that's not really overstating it for Acadiana High. That's what it is every year. And sometimes you can look at the team and be like, maybe they don't have it this year, or maybe they don't quite have the makeup to make a run. That's not this team. This team has the experience of already going to the Dome last year, and all of that senior leadership that they have on the team coming back from a very experienced team, a team that if you remember, I talked about it during the state championship game. The juniors and the sophomores that were on the sideline in the Superdome were distraught. They took it personal. And so did the seniors, the outgoing seniors, and we're going to talk about some of them later on in the pregame. But the outgoing seniors were hurt, but those juniors that were hurt. I saw Colin DeBetto on the sideline, with his head down. I saw a lot of the juniors with their head down. And so, they're hungry to get back there. They know what it takes like to get there. They don't know what it takes like to get to the mountaintop. So we're gonna see what they're made of, and it's a big test in week one to start out here against Ruston.
Yeah, and I mean, they're led by head coach Matt McCullough, his seventh year. And I mean, in 7 years, he's going to 3 state championships, winning 2 of them. Not much more you can ask for from a 5A head coach. And like you said, very senior heavy. He's obviously the man for the job. If he's getting half of his season so far ended up in the Superdome, so that's something that you can really hang your hat on. But I will get to those key players that graduated last year. Obviously, Dominic McKinley going to LSU, linebacker Amir Hill, Shamarius Harris, who we were both very high on. That is a huge loss. Led tackles for Acadiana in back-to-back seasons. Offensive guard Mike Willis, offensive lineman Jackson Hammond. We lost him to UL. Hard workers right there up front, and of course, Ezekiel Hippolyte, who was just an absolute workhorse for the Wreckin' Rams last year. Now, here's the good news. He's going to fill in that void, our 2 seniors in Tayton Collins and Jonah Goche. So, you still got some leadership in the backfield, and alongside them will be Parker Bruno. So, running back wise, that's what you hang your hat on. That's the bread and butter of Acadiana. That's the Veer machine. Luckily enough, you got a senior quarterback and 2 senior running backs that are going to be the bell cows of the offense. So I'm looking to see how well this offense comes out the gate, and you can speak on it as well. Acadiana historically, at least recently, has not been very good, let's call it what it is, week one, against a team like Ruston. You kind of have to be, because if you don't show up out the gate, they're going to run you out the stadium.
Yeah, we were talking about it kind of jokingly on the way up to Ruston. We were saying kind of like LSU, right? LSU's lost 5 season openers in a row, and Acadiana tends to stumble. We've had a couple of games against LCA to open the season the last couple of years and drop those games, so you're kind of playing behind the 8 ball, but back to what you were saying about the players that we lost. I mean, those are names that we called all year long. Amir Hill, how many times did we say his name? Shamarius Harris might have got his name called the most out of any player.
That's right.
on the whole team last year, and he's gone. And then, of course, the running back, Ezekiel Hippolyte, was kind of that bell cow. But you look at Acadiana's running back stable every year, and you're like, they're losing Ezekiel Hippolyte. Like, who's going to fill in. Well, this year, you're not even concerned about who's going to fill in because there's two guys that you called their names multiple times on the broadcast last year, and Taden Collins and Jonah Goche. Jonah had one of the best games of the season against who they played in Hammond, the team they played in Hammond.
That was Holy Cross.
Holy Cross had one of the best games of the season against Holy Cross in the state quarterfinals. So,
and not to mention his state championship performance, he was phenomenal in the state championship
so
as well.
Jonah and Taden are ready. Parker Bruno is going to step in and do what he does. Acadiana seems to always have a running back in the program that's going to step in and take the place of those outgoing seniors. So this is a team that just has the senior leadership. We haven't even talked about the quarterback, who is a 3-year starter.
That's your man.
And look, you and I went back and forth on whether or not he's the greatest quarterback in Acadiana history. And the one thing that you said that he has to do in order to take that mantle is win a state championship. And he got to the game last year, and he didn't quite get over the hump. So this year, if he can get over the hump, I think he will solidify himself as the greatest quarterback in school history. So it's a lot of pressure. You hate to put pressure on kids like that, but this program, the standard is the Dome. That's it. And so we're hoping for a trip to the Dome, and this is a good test. We were talking about it, how they lose the games against LCA, and they have a tough game against Ruston. Like, it's time to win one of these, right? We shouldn't just take it as they're just going to lose to Ruston and then we're going to move on and have a good season. No, they need to win this game. It'll be a great start to the season if they can pick up a win against a quality opponent here in Ruston.
Absolutely, because if you think ahead, I mean, like I said, you're playing Ruston week 1, you got Zachary week 2. If you can find a way to beat Ruston in week 1, the sky's the limit, because this is, preseason #1 team in the state. So you can hang your hat on something really early on and give yourself a lot of momentum going into week 2 against Zachary. Well, I tell you what, we didn't even talk about the wide receivers who are, we talked about the quarterback. We talked about the running backs. We didn't even talk about my wide receivers yet. I mean, we got to talk about Russell Babineau, the Raging Cajun commit, and he's a 4-year starter, Nick. I mean, and alongside him, the sophomore talented, the brother, Colin DeBetta. So, I mean, we're sitting here talking about the Veer machine, but let's call it what it is. This is the Veer machine 2.0. This is a new offense for Acadiana. We are a very pass to run balanced offense, and I'm very excited because you got 2 of the better wide receivers in the entire state that are going to be catching balls for Caden DeBetta.
And we had a game last year where Russell Babineau played quarterback. I mean, he's just an athlete, and him already committing to UL, he's got that recruiting process behind him. That's not going to be a distraction. He's going to stay home. He's going to be a Raging Cajun next year, and this year he can just focus on making plays. And boy, does he make some fantastic plays. And you mentioned it, Acadiana historically hasn't passed the ball all that much, but the last 2 seasons with Caden DeBetta at quarterback, and this being his senior year, he has complete knowledge of this offense now. He knows exactly what his reads are. He knows exactly when it's time to pass, when it's time to hand off. And I just think that experience of being a 3-year starter is invaluable. And I think we're going to see it a lot with the connection with Russell Babineau and his younger brother Colin, who my good friend Brandon Bonner, who was a assistant principal at Judy, said, he saw Colin DeBetta, both of the DeBettas at school, and said, man, Colin might be even more athletic than Caden. So, and we saw it last year. I mean, how many times have you seen a freshman start at Acadiana High?
Let me just say this, just to piggyback on that. You want to talk about his athleticism? He was actually the leadoff hitter for the Wreckin Rams this past baseball season and the starting shortstop, and he took them all the way to the semifinals. So, I mean, you want to talk about athleticism. How many times have you seen a freshman shortstop in a 5A program lead off? And, I mean, he's an incredible athlete. And like I said, to be opposite of Russell Babineau, Colin DeBetta is just, what do you do? Do you pack the box and try to stop the run? Do you play one-on-one on the outside? Because at some point, you got to pick and choose your battles if you're playing defense against the Wreckin Rams.
Yeah, it's almost, they had a couple of games last year where it was almost a pass first, and you would have never thought to ever say that about the Acadiana offensive team, especially coached by Matt McCullough, who was a quarterback at the school and knows the Veer left and right. But it's like you said, it's a Veer 2.0. It's a brand new ball game now, and with Caden DeBetta able to fling it and really have numbers like we've never seen before at Acadiana. It's just a new style offense. We saw it a bit last year, and it got us all the way to the Dome. I don't think we're going to see much of a change. I think they're going to do a lot of the same stuff, especially with the #1 option, Russell Babineau, still being in offense. He has that lifelong just blood connection with Colin, right? They just know where each other is going to be, and they do those things that, Colin will make a cut, and you're like, wow, that's not the right cut, and all of a sudden the ball's in his hand. So We saw it so many times last year that happened. So if they can get the Jonah, Taden, the two-head monster, and then get the outside running with
Bruno.
with Bruno, I mean, we're looking at an offense that could be pretty dangerous going forward this season.
And it's all going to come down to the offensive line. The big men that put the veer in gear, they're going to be led by senior Brody Estes, senior Braxton Scriber, senior Robert Welch, junior Tayshawn Benjamin, senior Owen Carpenter, and senior tight end Jaden Bassard. I mean, it all comes down to the big men that put the veer in gear. And, I mean, you do lose. I mean, we talked about it. You lost two of the better, guys that you've had on this line, which is Mike Willis and Jackson Hammond, but you reload with more seniors, people that still have experience. And, it helps that you have 4 of the 6 starting linemen, I'm including the tight end, are starters that have started from last year. So I'm excited to see what this offense can do. Let's turn the page to the Terrible Turks defensive line. They're going to be led up front by senior Valen Charles, senior Jaden Lawrence, junior Darius McKinley, and senior Jaden Carmouche. The linebacker position will be led by senior Pop Francis, senior Keldrick Francis, senior Marion Cooper, and junior Gavin Coleman. The defensive back position will be led by senior Dalen Lewis, senior Braylon Noel, senior Keeman Thibodeau, and junior Keon Leday. Real quick, I'll talk special teams. Senior kicker last year returning is Eddie Hernandez, and junior punter is Ty Lambertino. But let's talk about the Terrible Turks for a minute. Really came on strong towards the back end of the year, had some multiple outings where, they strung some things together and were very stingy. Against Catholic Baton Rouge in the Dome, wasn't able to really contain that powerful offense, but all season long they did a really good job of just staying in their assignments. If you ask in my opinion, the game against LCA week 1 and the last game in the Dome obviously was the 2 showings that, really weren't positive. But outside of those 2, the Terrible Turks did a really good job last season.
Well, they had the number 1 player in the entire state in Dominic McKinley, who's now playing at LSU. They also had Shamarius Harris, who might have been the MVP of the defense last year. And those 2 guys really, set the tone for the entire defense. But those guys are gone, right? It's going to be next man stepping up. And let's take a little second right now because they're praying for the press box. So we'll just have a moment of silence.
All right, we'll have a moment of silence. We're going to go ahead and mute the broadcast for a second, but we'll go ahead and bring it back as soon as this ends. We'll go ahead and do starting lineups when we return. You're listening to Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back to the Halston, Ruston, Louisiana. Wreckin' Ram Productions live on YouTube. And bear with us, fans. This is our first broadcast on YouTube tonight. We're working out the kinks. So this is going to be our road broadcast for the year. This is not our home equipment. When we get to home, it'll be more of like a college-style, NFL-style production with a full scoreboard, very interactive. But when we go on the road, this is what you'll be looking at. Going to be mounted cameras, and we're just going to roll on. But If you look down at the field, you see the Ruston Bearcats about to come out, and while they're coming out, that'll lead me into the Ruston Bearcat intro. Like I said, they are the #1 team in the state, led by head coach Jared Baugh. Last year, they were a perfect 14-0 in the 5A state champs. According to Coach Baugh, they say we have a lot of work to do to replace the senior class from last year, but they're looking forward to the challenge. Their offense is going to be led by dual-threat quarterback Josh Brantley, who's a senior. Last season, he had 784 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground, and threw for over 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. The running back position is going to be led by senior Jordan Hayes. Last season, he ran for 1,694 yards and 20 touchdowns. You will also see senior Dylan Brooks and junior Lander Smith running the ball as well. Wide receiver position is going to be led by sophomore Ahmad Hudson and junior Jordan Parker. The offensive line for the Bearcats is going to be led by junior tight end Cullen Clark, senior Cameron Vincent, senior Ced Roan, senior Sam Nations, junior Brock Singley, and sophomore Jacqueline Blackman. The defensive line will be led by senior Peyton Bell, senior Kavarian Key, senior Caleb Williams, and junior Rakeem Potts. The linebackers for the Bearcats will be led by senior Zarek Hill and senior Xander Hayes. And the defensive backs will be led by senior Aiden Anding, junior Trendon Moore, junior Miles Brown, sophomore Jaden Anding, and senior Fabian Stringfellow. They have 2 kickers for the Bearcats, which will be Joaquin Ramos and Jack Elliott, and punting will be junior Cade Kelly.
Cole, you mentioned Aiden Anding, who is a cornerback as we get ready for the national anthem. I'll talk more about Aiden after the national anthem. We'll just pause it real quick.
And that was your national anthem, brought to you by Miss Louisiana.
Yeah, Miss
America's
Louisiana.
team.
She's the student at Ruston High School, and I went to talk to her earlier, and I said, hey, what are you the queen of? She's like, I'm the queen of Louisiana. I was like, well, you know what,
awesome.
Congratulations. And then she gave me a go Cats, and I was like, all right, easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take it easy.
But no, going back, Aiden Anding, defensive back for the Bearcats.
Yeah, we're talking about Aiden Anding, who is an LSU commit. He'll be at LSU next season in the Jamboree. I saw on Twitter. I was just randomly scrolling on Twitter. He had 2 interceptions in the Jamboree, and he had a punt return for a touchdown. That's half a game. So
it's an impressive young man.
Only played half a game and had those stats. So he's gonna be a player to watch tonight in this game. So there's lots of Division I talent on this football field tonight.
Down on the field, captains for the Wreckin Rams: number 0, Pop Francis; number 99, Jaden Lawrence; number 83, Jaden Bassard; and number 52, Brody Estes. That is your captains tonight for the Wreckin Rams. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful night here at the Hoss, and on the way up, me and Nick were talking about, we're hoping we didn't catch that rain tonight, but it has really cleared up over here and become a really nice night for some high school
rained
football.
the whole way up here.
The whole way.
And then as soon as we got into Ruston, it wasn't raining anymore. It's unbelievable. Like, the skies just cleared up, and it's a beautiful night for high school football.
Yeah. Beautiful stadium over here at Ruston if you've never been before. Big, beautiful scoreboard, nice turf. And I think the last time the Wreckin Rams were here, they were able to win the game on a Hail Mary. So Shout out to Caleb Cavalier.
Yeah, you have that almost encyclopedic knowledge of the last probably like 10 years of Acadiana football. You know all the games, all the wins. I'm like, you're like, oh, last year we were here. Like, you don't remember? I'm like, I don't. And you tell me like play by play what happened. So it's always fun whenever we have those back and forths off the air.
So the handshakes and high fives are finishing up, and ladies and gentlemen, we are not too far away from the kickoff of your 2024 season. And again, my name's Cole Gilbo, your play-by-play man. Alongside me, my good friend and broadcast partner, Nick Fodno, and we are excited to bring you some quality Wreckin Ram football because, senior-heavy team, the sky's the limit. But it's time to put it up or, put up or shut up and be elite is what they're saying for this season. So let's see the Wreckin Rams come out and be elite. It looks like the Rams will be kicking off to begin the game. Down on the field's number 13, Eddie Hernandez. So the Rams will start on defense.
Here's the start lineups for the Wreckin Rams tonight. First for the Veer Machine offense, starting at quarterback, senior number 4, Caden Diabetta. Wide receivers are going to be senior number 8, Russell Babineau, sophomore number 6, Colin Diabetta, and junior number 10, Leland Andrews. Running backs for the Wreckin Rams tonight, senior number 9, Tayden Collins, senior number 23, Jonah Goche, and senior number 22, Parker Bruno. At tight end tonight for the Wreckin Rams, senior number 83, Jaden Bassard. The offensive line, at center, senior number 71, Robert Welch. At guard, senior number 52, Brody Estes. Senior number 51, Braxton Scriber. Senior number 70, Cavani Wilson. And senior number 50, Owen Carpenter. All seniors on the starting lineup for the
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kickoff is deep, and they'll let it go in the end zone.
So that'll be a touchback for the Wreckin Rams. Let's run through the defense real quick. At defensive end, junior number 87, Darius McKinley. The senior number 99, Jaden Lawrence. Tackle, senior number 54, Valen Charles. And senior number 88, Jaden Carmouche. Linebackers, senior number 0, Pop Francis. And number 3, Keldrick Francis, also a senior. And junior number 5, Gavin Coleman. At cornerback, senior number 1, Dalen Lewis. Junior number 13, Tavian Landry. And the safeties, the senior number 24, Braylon Noel. And number 7, a guy who I'm expecting a monster season from this year, is Keeman Thibodeau. The specialist for the Wreckin Rams, the place kicker will be number 13, senior Eddie Hernandez. And the punter this year, junior number 5, Ty Lamartino, who you told me has a 92-mile-per-hour.
Yeah, he
Come
is.
on, bro.
Absolutely. No, Ty's a star on the baseball field, and I know they're looking forward to a great year from him. So here come the Bearcats. Going to be in a shotgun formation, one running back to the right of the quarterback, one receiver to each side of the formation. Calls for the ball. He's going to hand it off. Up the middle, nothing doing. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to lose a yard, and it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Bearcats.
Nice start for the Wreckin Rams on defense there, setting the tone early, letting them know, hey, that inside run might not have a lot of success with that tonight. You might want to bounce it outside and let that secondary go to work. But that was a nice little first play for the Wreckin Rams on defense. Does it feel like football, Cole? I mean, it's a little interesting because the weather's so good. We were expecting like kind of a nasty weather game, but man, this weather is great out here tonight.
Beautiful weather, absolutely, Nick. 2nd and 11. Quarterback Josh Brantley in the shotgun, one running back, 2 receivers to the right side. Handoff up the middle again, looks for a hole, he finds one, jumps over a defender, but he'll be brought down after about a gain of 6. It's going to be 3rd and let's call it a long 4.
Yeah, that was actually good penetration by the defensive line, but the running back for Ruston kind of made a little move, and that second move, he found the hole kind of open. I think that first hole he wanted to go in was closed, but he saw that second hole, busted right through, and got a nice gain to bring up a 3rd and manageable.
That was Jordan Hayes, the senior running back for the Bearcats on the run, but it's a 3rd and medium. Let's see what the Bearcats choose to go with. Quarterback in the shotgun, running back to the left of him. 3 receivers to the right side, drops back to pass, looking, dumps it across the middle, it's complete. Going to the far sideline, that's going to be enough for a first down, about a 10-yard gain. Let's call it 11, 1st and 10 for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Gavin Coleman busted through the line and actually put a good hit on the quarterback, but he got rid of the ball, and that's a first down for Ruston. So after a good first down, you got a couple of big gains there for the Bearcats, and they have a first down.
Going quick here. 1 running back, 2 receivers, drops back to pass. It's a toss play, near side. Trying to turn a corner, not able to do much. Going to get a gain of about 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Ball's going to be at the 40.
So Colin Diabetta there in that defensive back. I guess he's going to be playing both ways this year. Missed that tackle, and that was a problem last year. We saw the Wreckin Rams miss a lot of tackles. Make the right play and make the right read and penetrate the line, hit the player with the ball, and just not be able to bring him down. So they're going to have to shore that up, especially against a team like Ruston. Because if you make the play and you don't bring them down, they're going to make you pay for it.
Curious to see if the Wreckin Rams choose to how often they choose to use Colin in this defensive formation. Quarterback in the shotgun, 1 running back, 3 receivers. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Stop for a second, breaks a tackle. Going to have just enough to get the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and the ball's going to be placed at the 46-yard line. Again, enough for a first down.
Yeah, we just hoping this early season, right? Still getting the juices flowing, because that's 2 missed tackles in a row that could have been losses or minimal gains, end up being big gains with the bounce off by Ruston.
That was Dylan Brooks, senior running back for the Bearcats on the carry. 3 receivers far side, 1 receiver near side, takes the handoff. Quarterback's going to keep it himself near side, trying to turn the corner. Breaks 2 tackles, and there he goes down the sideline. He's going to be pushed out at the 35-yard line, and that's going to be enough for Bearcat first down.
Cole, I don't want to beat the drum, right, or bang the horse, or whatever they want to call it, but broken tackles, man, that's cost us on this drive. That's 3 plays in a row that we've made the right read and made the tackle, and the Ruston player just breaks it and busts out for a big gain.
1 running back, 2 receivers far side, 2 receivers near side. Throws it near side, and that's going to be a false start. The 2 near side receivers jumped early, so it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Bearcats.
But I tell you what, let's go back to that previous play. What a great play call by Ruston and the quarterback. He saw the read, made the right read, made the play. But, man, we had it snuffed out. We knew exactly what was coming, and he just trucked 2 of our guys on defense there to get a big play. So when you make that play, you have to be able to bring that player down. Otherwise, this team is proving that they're going to make you pay for that.
And a credit to Ruston. I mean, these are some big kids.
Sure.
Let's call it what it is. I mean, these are some big kids. It looks like we're looking at a college football team down here, and I'm being really honest. But ball's currently placed at the 39-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 15. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side, 1 running back to the left of the quarterback. Slide receiver goes in motion, 3-step drop, looking. It's a screen play. Across the middle. Going to be a gain of about 5. Going to get the yards back. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Ball's going to be at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about the look of this team. I mean, we're used to being in our district, and aside from Karen Crow and maybe Southside every now and then, the teams in our district don't look like this team on the sideline.
Absolutely not.
They have big numbers, lots of players, and some big kids down there are playing football for Ruston.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 receiver near side, 1 running back to the left of the quarterback in the shotgun. Looks to the sideline for a play. Senior quarterback number 3, Josh Brantley. Takes the snap, going to keep it himself near side. Going up the middle now, pushing the pile to the 20, to the 15, and that's enough for a Bearcat first down. Flag after the play.
Flag on the play, yeah. That's just will, right? He's just busting through the line and imposing his will on him and getting the yards there for the running back. So not a very promising start. After that first play was kind of behind the line, a tackle for loss. After that, it's been big gain for the Bearcats, and they're marching down the field. But it looks like the penalty might be against Ruston.
It seems like Ruston's backing up a little bit. Let's see what the call on the field is.
Well, we learned last year that a personal foul is not loss of down.
Going to be a personal foul against the Bearcats, so that'll back them up. Should still be 1st and 10. Is that correct, Nick?
That's what he said. He said first down. I don't know if it's going to be 1st and 25 or, because remember last year we had a couple of calls. Because high school is not the same as college and NFL.
I'm hearing the announcer on the side of us say it's going to be 1st and 9. So it's going to be first and 9, ball at the 32-yard line. Interesting.
Weird.
I mean, you're like me. We're big college guys, big NFL guys.
Yeah.
You're used to those rules, but LHSAA has different rules. So 2 receivers each side. Slot goes in motion. 3-step drop, looking near side. Throws a quick slant, and it's batted down. That ball was batted down by big number 87, Darius McKinley.
Yeah, made a nice play there. So this could be something that kind of stops the momentum for Ruston, right? They were marching down the field. All of a sudden, they get a 15-yard play. Next play gets knocked down by McKinley. Like this is the type of thing that hopefully the defense can build on and stop them. Because if you can at least force a field goal or maybe even a punt right here, that would be a big stop. After Ruston's pretty much at will run the football down the field.
8:28 left to go in the first quarter. 1 receiver to each side of the formation. 1 running back to the right of the quarterback. Takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looking for a hole.
Nice
not going to have much there. He's going to get a gain of about 3. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Ball is at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that tackle was made by Keldrick Francis. Nice penetration through the line and made a tackle. Running back still got a gain, but it could have been a lot further of a gain if Francis doesn't sneak in and kind of make that shoestring tackle. So a nice play by the Wreckin Rams to make this a 3rd and long. You want to get this this team in third and long, so you can kind of know what they're going to do. Because if you get them in that third and short, third and manageable, they have that RPO. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, on this side of the field as well, Nick. I mean, if you give them anything, close to first down, I expect them to go for it on fourth down. But let's see. 2 wide receivers to the near side, running back to the right of the quarterback. Takes the snap, hands off up the middle. Not much.
Good.
He's going to get about a yard. It's going to be 4th and about 5. And let's see what the Bearcats choose to do here. Actually, they're going to only give him a yard. It's going to be 4th and 6.
Yeah, McKinley got in there on the stop, and then Thibodeau kind of locked it up. So that's your big players right there. McKinley, Thibodeau, Francis, those are the names we'll probably be calling all year long. Those are the names the Rams are going to be counting on to make big plays in big games. And this game can't get any bigger. And those 2 guys just stepped up right there on third down, bringing up a huge fourth down play.
Well, let's see, Nick. The offense is on the field. Is this a dummy player? They're going to go for it. Quarterback's under center with a fullback and a running back behind him. He takes the snap, drops back, but he's rolling near side. He dumps it across the field, and it's complete. Brought down at about the 11-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a Bearcat first down.
Well, that's a killer. That's a killer, right? A big third down stop right there. You're hoping to get off the field or at least force a punt or a kick, and they just get that fourth down. Now they've got all the momentum, right? You had a little bit of momentum going. Now all the momentum is back on the Ruston sideline. The fans are into it, and they got something cooking right here.
So it's 1st and 10, not 1st and goal. They're just outside the 10. Ball is at the 13, let's call it the 12-yard line. Here's the snap. Hands off right up the middle. Nothing doing. Brought down. Going to be about a gain of 1. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Ball to be at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that little inside run's just not there for Ruston right now. I mean, if he makes that first read in the first hole, it's done. So he has to either bounce it out to get yards. But if he takes that first read and goes for it, our guys are right in there to make the tackle. So nice job there. You've been able to take away that opening read for the running back and have to force him out, because when he doesn't force out, he gets tackled.
Quarterback under center again. Fullback and running back behind him. 1 receiver to the near side. Takes the snap. Hands it off up the middle. Looking for a hole. Not able to find much. Going to get a gain of about 3. We'll call it 3rd and 5. Ball is going to be at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, again, up the middle, there's not much there. The plays that they've got their big yards on were bounce outside plays, the toss play, a couple of pass plays. That's when they've been able to get their big yards. With that run up the middle, he's just not there. So credit to the Terrible Turk defense to get that stop. Just like we have a timeout on the field.
Timeout down on the field. We'll take a timeout up here. We'll be right back with more Wreckin' Ram Productions. And we're back at the Hoss here in Ruston, Louisiana. 5:59 left to go in the first quarter. No score as of now, but the Bearcats are marching. Quarterback under center, fullback and running back behind them. 1 receiver to the far side. They're going to shift the formation here. Quarterback's going to go in the shotgun. 1 receiver to each side. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. 3-step drop, throws a fade route. It's a 1-on-1, and it's knocked incomplete.
Broke up by number 1.
Great job by Dalen Lewis, the senior cornerback, to force the incompletion, but we'll see if they choose to go for it on 4th down like they did earlier in this drive.
Yeah, well, you had mentioned it on the last drive. Like, it's pretty much 4-down territory. I mean, I don't think we're going to be selling for too many field goals in this game. I think both teams are going to be marching down the field, and if you get down here, you're going to want to get 6. But what a great play by Lewis breaking that up. I mean, that was a sure touchdown. No doubt about it. He had his hands on the ball, and Lewis just knocked it away.
It was a sure height disadvantage for sure.
Absolutely.
The wide receiver tried to go up in one hand and get it, and Dalen did a really good job of just throwing his hands up there and knocking it away.
Miscommunication on defense right now.
Toss play. Far side, and that's a touchdown. Good block. Sprung the running back, Jordan Hayes, and that's going to be 6 points for the Bearcats. 6-0 with 5:51 left to go in the first quarter.
But there were some good things that the Wreckin Rams did on that drive. I mean, they did get some stops, some big third down stops. They came up big when they needed to, but Ruston kind of ran right down the field. I mean, they didn't get too much pushback from the Wreckin Rams, and Ruston kind of had their way and capped off with that Jordan Hayes touchdown right there. So, I mean, we knew what kind of game this was going to be. We knew it was going to be back and forth. We knew both teams were going to probably put some points on the board, and Ruston gets their first drive into the end zone. Now we got to see what the Wreckin Rams have to answer. But, I mean, this is not going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be a fight. It's going to be a war, and hope the Wreckin Rams offense can kind of answer, because if not, Ruston just proved to you that they're going to be able to go down the field.
Extra point is up and good, and it's 7-0 with 5:51 left to go in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and keep it here, but now it's time, Nick. We'll get to see what that veer machine can do.
Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing the better. I've been hearing lots of good things from coaches at practice, saying that he just has a full command of the offense, a full understanding of the playbook, complete understanding of what the veer machine is. It is not as easy of an offense to learn and master as people think. The old phrase when Coach Davidson was here was run it again. It is not that simple. There's lots of reads, there's lots of offensive schemes, there's lots of blocking and stuff like that, and it takes a while to really get a command of it. And the better, with this being his third season under center in the veer, I'm very excited to see exactly what I've been hearing from all the coaches that say, you know what, this kid has just figured it out completely. He knows the offense front and back. And he's really destined to have a nice year this year.
And again, fans, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight to our very first broadcast on Wreckin Ram Productions live on YouTube. Again, thank you for bearing with us. We're figuring things out up here, but we hope that we hope you enjoy the broadcast. And
Well,
you get the visual.
my mama said it sounds good, so
awesome.
My mama said it sounds good.
Sky kick going to be brought in at about the 25, taken in, brings it up to the 30. To the 40, to the 35, it'll be down at about the 38-yard line, and that's where your veer machine will have it, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, right? We got Jonah and Tayden. We got Russell Babineau. We got Caden DeBetta. We got Kyle DeBetta. I mean, these are the names, right? These are the big names that we've been calling for the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, this is what we want to see. So Ruston showed us what they had. Let's show them what we got.
I'm excited to see what this senior offensive line can do against Ruston, because we talked about it. Ruston is a large team. This is a real chance for you to kind of throw your weight around, and you have a battle in front of you. So let's see how the offensive line holds up tonight.
Correct.
Classic veer machine, split back veer, 2 receivers to the near side. DeBetta under center, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, breaks a tackle, spins off the pow. Ball's going to be brought down. He's going to be brought down at about the 48-yard line. Going to be a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. What a way to start the drive.
Cole, you talked about that offensive line, right? You talked about all the seniors that are on that offensive line. I mean, that's what makes the veer machine go. I was worried to see how they were going to react to losing Jackson Hammond and Mike Willis, who were by far not only the leaders of the offensive line, but the leaders of the team. And that first play right there shows you that this offensive line is ready to go. Seniors all across the offensive line. That's big.
Same formation here. DeBetta under center, takes the snap, hands it off far side, pushing the pile. That's going to be enough for a Wreckin Ram first down. Ball is going to be placed at the 48-yard line.
Old school Acadiana football. I mentioned it in between the possessions. Run it again. It looks like that's what it's going to be early on. And look, it works. I mean, the play works. It's historically worked. It's hard to stop. You know it's coming, and you can't stop it. And that's what Acadiana's kind of doing right here. Maybe opening it up for a pass in a few.
34 veer. 1 receiver each side, split back veer behind DeBetta under center. And that's going to be a false start. That's going to be a false start on the tight end, number 83, Jaden Bessard. It's going to be 1st and 15 for the Rams.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's just the, little jitters first game. We got some first game jitters up here, so we know they got them down there. I mean,
absolutely.
They are amped up. And I mean, the magnitude of this game, right? Just such a big game. Number 1 team in the state playing against, a few players that are going to big name schools. I mean, these kids are amped up down there.
Wide receiver Carver Swallow will be the far side receiver. 1 receiver to each side, split back veer. Hands off up the middle. Breaks a tackle.
Busted. Oh.
Not able to spin off, though. He's going to get a gain of 2. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Ball is at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, he probably at least picks up the yards that they lost on the penalty if he doesn't get hung up. But the defensive lineman who busted through the line, grabbed his ankle and was able to bring him down, and that was that. But man, Jonah looked pretty fast on that.
Yeah, he came out of the chute on that one. He definitely came out of the chute on that one. 1 receiver to each side of the formation, split back veer behind DeBetta. Hands off. Far side.
Oh.
He's gonna get a gain of about 3. So let's call it 3rd and 10, but he wasn't able to turn the corner. Let's see what Matt Cole says. It's gonna be 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11.
That's the second play in a row where you're like, man, he got a few yards there, and then a Ruston player comes up and kind of stops him out of nowhere. So that was the second play in a row there. But very interesting to see what happens here. Is this an air and out spot, or you're having success with the run? Is it an air out spot? I mean, historically they don't do that.
Senior Parker Robichaux bringing in the play. I mean, let's see if the Rams want to put the ball in the air here. 1 receiver to each side, split back veer. 3rd and 11. And the Rams do what the Rams do, a hard count with nothing doing, and they're going to call a timeout. So when we come back, it's going to be 3rd and 11. Ball is at the 49-yard line. We'll take a quick break. This is Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back to the Hoss in Ruston, Louisiana. Your Rams are facing a 3rd and 11. Ball's at the 49-yard line. 1 receiver to each side, split back veer behind the quarterback, DeBetta. Takes the snap. It's a trap play, but nothing doing. They sniffed that one out the whole way, and the Rams are going to lose about 5 or 6 on that one. Going to be about 4th and 15, maybe even 16.
Yeah, that's a tough play, right? Exactly what you said, Cole. They snuffed it out. They knew exactly what was coming, and man, on a 3rd and long, maybe it's not time to air it out, right? Maybe they're just not ready for it. They had a lot of success with the run, but that's really a tough one because you've already seen what Ruston can do offensively. So the defense is going to have to step up and make some plays here.
A couple of good runs on the drive.
Yeah.
Just wasn't able to string enough together to get down the field, but no harm, no foul. Punting for the Wreckin' Rams is going to be junior Ty Lamartina.
Can he throw it? Just let him throw it.
Takes the snap. It's a good one. Punt is up. Not a bad punt here. Going to be fielded at the 25-yard line. Going to cut it far side. He's across the 30.
Flag.
35. Still on his feet. He's going to be tackled at about the 31, but as Nick said, there is a flag on the play. We'll have to see what that flag is.
Yeah, nice penetration there by the special teams to kind of not let him have any room to go anywhere, but we'll see what the penalty is. Potential block in the back, maybe.
Again, 7-0 here in Ruston. Just waiting to see what the penalty is.
Oh, on Acadiana.
A personal foul on Acadiana, a face mask called, and that'll cost them a couple of yards. But again, 7-0 here with 2:24 left to go in the first quarter. Ruston's going to get their second crack at the football.
I've never been to Ruston. And my first time to Ruston, you said you'd been here a few years ago. Great facilities all around here. You and I even drove on the Louisiana Tech campus. Great facilities there. I mean, just an all-around great city. We come up in the press box, hospitality second to none. They have so much food up here. It's unbelievable. Like, if we go home hungry, it's our fault.
It's a full buffet up here,
all
for
kind
sure.
of stuff up here. So it's been a nice trip to Ruston. It'll be even better if we could somehow go away home with a W.
Ruston's going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line, so a really costly penalty on the punt because they would have had it somewhere around the 30.
Penalties are going to get you. Penalties are going to get you every time, and then you just got to clean that up.
Terrible Turks have to find a way to stand tough right here and get that Veer machine the ball back.
Absolutely. I mean, the first drive was not a very productive one for the Veer machine. They did have a couple of good plays. They're going to have to kind of build on those good plays and find out what's working. That inside run play for Ruston hasn't been there, but pretty much everything else has been there for the Bearcats. So the Veer machine's going to have to step up and get the ball back to the offense.
I'm going to call it right here, Nick. I think we see a shot play first play out the gate. I think the Bearcats take a shot and try to put a dagger in the Rams early.
I mean, we didn't talk about this in the pregame. We haven't mentioned it yet, but when we were walking in, we counted the senior banners that are hanging on the field on the outer edge of the stadium. 34 seniors on a team that won a state championship. I mean, this is a senior-led team as well, and they're looking to repeat as state champions, just like the Rams are looking to go to the Dome as well.
So they misspotted the ball. It's actually going to be at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Looking to the sideline for the play. Senior quarterback Josh Brantley for the Bearcats. Takes the snap. Going to keep it himself.
Oh, got to make that.
Got to make the play. Got to bring him down. And they do. Heck of a job by the Terrible Turks to sniff that out. That's going to be a loss of about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 15. Ball is going to be at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, nice first hit from Amarian Cooper, who kind of held him up. Didn't quite bring him down. He actually broke the tackle, but he held him up enough for the rest of the defense to come and make a play. You had to make that play. You had to get a win on one of those plays where you stop that first initial play, and they've been breaking that tackle and kind of getting a big gain. Didn't allow that to happen. So a nice start to this drive for the defense.
1:50 left in the first quarter. 2nd and 15 for the Bearcats. Quarterback's going to get under center with a fullback and a running back behind him, one receiver to each side. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Runs up the middle, and he's got room. Going to get a gain of about 10, maybe even 11. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Ball's going to be placed at the 44-yard line.
Cole, that was a different quarterback. That was Sam Hartwell, number 7. I guess he comes in for some kind of special package, but Sam Hartwell was the quarterback there. So we're going to have to pay attention to who's at quarterback, and the Rams are going to have to pay attention to that too. It might give away, what kind of plays they're trying to run.
Same for us defensively. I mean, you saw Colin DeBetta.
Correct.
I'm assuming we'll see Russell Babineau maybe tonight on the defensive side of the ball. So, well, here we go, folks. 3rd and 3, quarterback under center, fullback, running back, one receiver to each side. Hands off to the fullback up the middle. Does he have enough? No, they're going to mark him a yard short, maybe a yard and a half short. It's going to be 4th and a yard and a half. Let's see what the Bearcats want to do here.
Are they going to go for it? The punter looks like he's running onto the field. They're going for it. You can see the coach pointing. They're going to go for it. You got to make this stop. I mean, I think this is a big crucial play. I know it's early in the game with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, but man, this would be big if you can get the ball back right here.
So if you're the Bearcats, do you go up the middle or you try to beat them outside?
The middle hasn't worked so far.
Let's see. Quarterback in the shotgun. Receiver goes across the formation, jet sweep, but he's going to keep it himself, looking for a lane, and he's got one near side. There he goes to the 30, 20, 10, touchdown Bearcats.
Yeah, I mean, the middle was clogged, and he knew it was going to be clogged. That's worked tonight for the Rams, being able to clog that middle and not give it up. And the quarterback just busted outside and was wide open. There was literally nobody in his way once he got outside, and he ran it 40 yards for a touchdown. So Ruston, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. I mean, they're pretty much doing what they want on offense.
20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Your score is 13-0 pending the extra point. And the Veer Machine's going to have to find a way to get points on this drive or they're going to get a run out of the building real quick, Nick.
Yeah, it's got to happen. I mean, you just can't continue to let them get the ball because you see right now that it's just difficult for the defense to stop them. And when we get the ball, we're going to not get any points. Now, granted, we've only had one possession, so we don't want to get too down on the game just yet. But let's see what the Veer Machine has. But exactly what you said, like they're going to have to get the ball and go down there and put points on the board.
14-0. The extra point is good. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if you guys could see on the end zone cam, the student section down there is having a good time. Like we said, it's a beautiful stadium. It's a beautiful night. And, I mean, everybody's excited for week 1 football.
You hear that word culture a lot, right? You hear it, and it doesn't mean much if it doesn't actually exist. And you can just tell in this stadium they have culture. I mean, Cole, look to your left. There's 4 kids that can't be any older than 10 years old. And they are just waving their flags, and they are into it. Like, the culture is being built and started from an early age, and that's why they're having so much success. They have all their state championship banners, state runner-up in 22, winner in 23. I mean, all signs are pointing to them making another trip in 24. They just have built a really nice culture here in Ruston.
20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Wreckin Ram's going to get the ball back here. And, man, I'm really hoping we can see some kind of return because I know the 2 guys we got back there, and they are both electric playmakers.
Yeah, get us some good field position to start out.
Remember, folks, last was a sky kick. Let's see what they opt to do here. It looks like it's going to be another sky kick. Ball's going to be taken in at about the 15-yard line. That's Colin DeBetta. Looking for a lane. They're going to bring him down at the 25-yard line. He wasn't able to find one.
That's okay, though. I mean, how often have we seen the Rams just go 75 yards and punch it down your throat? So, I mean, they had some good success. They had some big runs, especially on that the first series where they got the 9-yard gain. Jonah had some nice looks where he looked like he was just fast fast as heck and just busting out of the, how would you call it? Shot him out of a chute. Yeah,
Came out of a chute on that
He's
one.
looking fast. So yeah, I mean they had some things that looked nice in that first drive. It just ended in a turnover.
One receiver to each side, split back veer behind Abetta. Takes the snap. It's going to sweep it out to the far side. Not able to turn the corner. He's going to lose yard. That was Jonah Goche on the carry. Going to lose about 3. And it's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Rams.
It does kind of seem like or feel like they know the play. Like they know what's coming. They're snuffing it out right away, and then there's not a whole lot going on. I think the quarter just ended cold.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of the first quarter. And again, your score, Ruston 14, Rams 0. Stick around for more Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Here we go with the start of the second quarter. One receiver to each side, and it's going to be the split back veer. It's going to be Goche and Collins behind quarterback DeBetta. 2nd and 13. Ball is at the 23-yard line. Takes the snap handoff up the middle. Goche looking. Going to get a couple of yards. Going to get his yards back that he lost. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
I mean, you can't have a 3 and out right here. Like you have to somehow get this first down. I'm not saying you go in 4-down territory if you don't get it here on 3rd down, but having a 3 and out here and just giving the ball right back to Ruston. I mean, it's early, so we don't want to give up on the game.
Exactly.
But man, you have to find a way to get this first.
Let me ask you this: how long do you wait to put the ball in the air?
Yeah,
Maybe roll out and try different things.
I figured they would have had it by now. I figured they would have done it by now, but maybe they just want to go back to this run game.
One receiver each side, split back veer. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls near side, looking deep. He's going to keep it himself. Yes, he will. Across the 30 to the 35. Breaks a tackle. He's down to the 40, and that is a Wreckin' Ram first down, and what a run by Caden DeBetta.
And maybe that's what they're talking about, where he just knew that was what he needed to do with the run play, right? He had a seam where he maybe could have fit that in and thrown the ball, but he just saw how many yards that he had, and they found a way to get the first down. So you didn't want to have to get that situation where you had a 4th down, had a decision to make, got it on 3rd down. Great run by Caden there.
1st and 10, ball at the 41-yard line, and he looked pretty quick
Yes,
on
he
that
did.
one.
Yeah.
One receiver each side, split back veer, handoff up the middle. Goche gonna get about 3. Looks like it's going to be, or we even call it 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Some of these kids, they go from that junior to senior year and just take a step up in maturity, right? And your muscles get bigger, you grow into your body more, and you just become faster. It looked like Caden was faster. It looks like Jonah's a lot faster than he was last year, and he already was quick. So, I mean, you see that sometimes going from junior to senior and just kind of becoming more of a man there, and that's what you're seeing from these guys down there.
2nd and 6, ball at the 45-yard line. One receiver each side, split back veer behind DeBetta. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, flag on the play. I imagine it's a false start. Let's see.
I think that's the first time we saw Bruno.
And it is a false start.
We had Parker Bruno get a carry there, so that was the first time we were able to call his name, but it gets called back.
Another absolute dagger by the Rams. It just seems like it's kind of been one thing after the other so far. You get a little momentum, and then a penalty kind of kills you.
And I know I'm going to go talk to Coach McCullough after the game, and that's probably the first thing he's going to say. Win or lose, he's going to talk about these penalties and how he wants to clean that up, because that's one thing that he despises more than anything is penalties costing you an opportunity to move the football down the field. Momentum gets killed by penalties is just awful.
10 minutes left to go in the first half. Ruston leading 14-0. 2 receivers near side, split back veer behind DeBetta. takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls far side. Jonah Goche picks up the block, throws it across the field, and it's overthrown. The Beta had number 22, Parker Bruno, on a drag route, just overthrew him. It would have been a first down play, but instead, it's going to be 3rd and 11.
But great play call. Everything was there. Great block by Goche. Bruno was open, just didn't make the pass. But a great play call, right? We're seeing that they're kind of working into passes a little bit more in this second drive, and the play calls are there. The plays are there. You just got to be able to execute it. And we called that a lot last year too, where the right read was made, the right play was called, and the execution just wasn't there. It'll get cleaned up, I think, as they go. But that was a great play right there.
3rd and 11. Ball at the 40-yard line. Line to gain is going to be the opposite 49. One receiver each side, split back veer. And let's see here. Looking back to the officials. Delay a game by the Wreckin Rams.
I mean, it's just you can't have that. You can't have these
I think
penalties.
Matt's arguing that the play clock was never reset. Matt's hollering down to the officials that the play clock was never reset, and actually the entire offense is saying the same thing. The referees are getting together here at about the 45. Let's see what the call is, or if they change. If they change the call.
Cole, that's one thing I'm gonna have to make an adjustment or from this season to last season is that if this was happening last season, I was on the field, I'd have been right there with Matt trying to figure out exactly what was going on. So now I'm up in the box like, what is going on down there? But I would have been right in that huddle with Matt trying to figure out exactly what he was saying. It was fun being on the sideline, but I like being up here in the booth.
And they will call it a delay of game. Referees get together and they will say that the Rams took too long to break the huddle. So that'll back them up, and it's going to be 3rd and 16. Ball is going to be at the 35-yard line. Line to gain is the opposite 49.
Well, you're playing against a tough team in Ruston. If you got to play against the officials as well, it's going to be a really long night.
One receiver each side, split back veer. Takes the snap. It's a trap play to Jonah Goche. Got a man to beat, and he beat him. Trying to turn the corner. He gets a good little gain there. Going to get a gain of about 8 or 9, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be 4th and 8.
I mean, what do you think, Cole? On a 3rd and long, this is the second time they've done it where they just kind of run a trap play. Are they giving up the 3rd down, or do they think that play is going to work and be able to get that first down?
No, they have to have seen something in film that alludes to them that they can run that play in a long distance and have success with it. I mean, you saw it right there. You got 9 or 10 on that play.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's there, but I mean, how many plays do you know in your book that are 3rd and 16, right? I mean, unless you're dropping back to pass and just throwing it up, which you do not want to do against this ball.
So do you think they're in 4-down territory here?
I do not, only because we're on their side of the field. I think if you have a decent punt here where you can, kind of get them back to their 20, you give your defense 80 yards to play with.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on the terrible Turks just yet. I think it's still early. But I would not go for it here, because if you go for it and don't get anything, they get the ball on their side of the field. And, I mean, being down 21 at Ruston is a very tall hill to climb.
It does look like Ty is going to be out there to receive the
And I think that's the right call.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything you're right. I mean, I was kind of playing devil's advocate with that question. I kind of knew what you were going to say, but absolutely, yeah, we're not gonna go for it on 4d down.
But yeah, going back to you on the sideline. I mean, I love having you here, man. I mean, we got to call a game together in Tulane, or at what's the field?
Southeastern.
Name? Yeah, no, it's where the Zephyrs used to play last year.
Oh, Zephyrs.
John Curtis at Acadiana. That was the first game last year that me and Nick got to call together.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was fun. It wasn't fun calling it from basically home plate.
From home plate.
But it was fun. Here's the snap. Kick is up. It's a high punt. Doesn't look too deep. Fair catch. Going to be taken in at about the 28-yard line. Not a terrible punt by Lambertina right there. It was just a very high one.
Yeah, the Ruston players ran into each
other.
Yeah,
they did. But ball was taken in at the 28-yard line, and that's where the Bearcats will start their drive. 1st and 10.
The bottom line is here the defense has to step up, right? You cannot allow Ruston to run out the field and move the ball at will as they have done on the first 2 drives. Like, you have to make a stop. You have to force them into a 4th and long. You have to get the ball back into the offense's hands. If Ruston goes down and scores a touchdown, and like you mentioned, we find ourselves down 21-0 at Ruston, I mean, that is just going to be one of the tallest hills to climb that they might have all season. So the defense just has to find a way to stop this offense, and thus far, the offense has pretty much done what they wanted.
Now, I will say this, Nick. Every time they tried to run it up the middle, Acadiana has success stopping them, but I feel like every time they go outside, that's when Ruston has their most successful so far. So we'll see. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Ball's at the 28-yard line. 9:30 left to go in the first half. Whistles down on the field. Delay a game on the Bearcats.
There we go.
So out the gate, Ruston's going to be behind the 8 ball. It's going to be 1st and 15.
Take advantage of that. Right?
Got to.
They give you 5 yards. You cannot allow them to get it back. We saw that on the first drive. They started at a 1st and 15, and they got 8 yards on the first drive. So on the first play. So you got to take advantage of this and force them into that 2nd and long.
Toss play near side, looking for a lane. He found one. Up the middle, he's cutting it back, and he just got all those yards back and then some. Gonna be a gain of 12. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 4.
Man, that's exactly what you did need to happen. Any kind of momentum that penalty might have given you is completely gone now. And again, not an inside run, right? A toss. Everything but the inside runs they're pretty much having success with, and they're using it to their advantage.
2nd and 3, ball's at the 35-yard line. One receiver far side. Hands off up the middle. Looking for a lane. He's not going to find one. Not going to find one. It's going to be no gain, and that's a great job by the Terrible Turks right there.
Yeah, number 5, Gavin Coleman, there on the stop. We're learning the rosters, right? First game, we're having to go to our rosters. By like game 2 or 3, we'll have them all memorized. But a nice play by Coleman there, busting through the line and making a stop.
3rd and 3, or maybe even 2. Maybe they gave him a yard. 3rd and 2. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff, throws far side. Got one man to beat. He got it. He turned the corner, and he's going to have enough for the first down. He's across the 50. Going to be brought out of bounds at about the 40. Let's call it the 46-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a Bearcat first down.
Yeah, it looked like Braylon Noel had an angle there, but the quarterback for Ruston was just way too quick, and it kind of outran the angle and busted it up for a big play.
Going back to what you've been saying all night, I mean, that's a play you got to make.
There's a flag on the play, though, Cole. Looks like they're backing them up.
Oh, holding on the Bearcats. It sure is. Good catch on that one. Going to back them up. That's a costly holding because I tell you what, with a big chunk play like that, Bearcats would have really had some momentum.
Yeah, but that's okay because, like I said, from where I was standing, it looked like Noel kind of had the angle, but he just got outran on that play. But now we're getting a 3rd and long.
And credit where credit's due. I mean, Josh Brantley got some wheels. I mean, that's a heck of a dual-threat quarterback, and he's a tall kid.
Yes, very, very big kid.
In fact, he's 6'5", 210, looking down at the roster here. 3rd and 12. Acadiana's got to stand tall here. Now, see, this is a situation, I think if you make the stop, it won't be a 4-down territory, but you got to make the stop. Let's see. 2 receivers. Drops back to pass. Throws the flat, and he's on the ground in Acadiana.
Nice.
They're going to call it an incomplete pass, so it's going to be 4th and 12, and the Terrible Turks make a stop.
That's a big stop for the defense. Josh Brantley, who you were talking about, the quarterback, kind of underthrew the pass right there. I don't think they were going to get much on it, even if it was complete. But that's a stop. That's what you needed. You had to have it. There was no coming back from it if you didn't get a stop on this drive. So maybe got aided by a penalty there on the previous play, but nonetheless, it's a stop, and we'll take it. Ruston's got aided by a few penalties. We'll take our penalties as well.
And fans, again, we want to thank you for tuning in to our very first broadcast on Wreckin Ram Productions here on YouTube. Again, bear with us. I mean, we're manually controlling the audio and the video up there.
But I think we're doing good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ironing out the kinks. So Ruston's going to punt here. Snap is up. Oh, it's blocked! Got it! Punt is blocked. He's going to be picked up by, it looks like Pop Francis, and the Wreckin Rams are going to have the ball at the 3-yard line.
Keeman Thibodeau with the block comes in. It looked like Keeman Thibodeau comes in, blocks the punt. What a play! And that's exactly what you need right there. A third down stop by the defense, a block from Keeman Thibodeau, and now you're in business.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Wreckin Rams because, man, they need points in the worst way to get themselves back in this ball game. And I mean, I don't know, Nick. I'm calling for the bread and butter right here. I think
Let's do it.
34,
baby. Call it.
7:55 left to go in the first half. Ruston leads 14-0, but Acadiana on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Handoff 34, Bear, and that's a touchdown. The Pitbull, Jonah Goche, with the first touchdown of the year for the Wreckin Rams, and it's 14-6.
And that's a fitting first touchdown because Jonah is probably going to get his name called getting into the end zone a lot this year. That's the first of many touchdowns for Jonah Goche. But, boy, what a sequence of events, right? We're talking about maybe potentially going down 21-0, and all of a sudden you get the big 3rd down stop, the block punt, and then a touchdown. And in 3 straight plays, now it's 14-7, and you're kind of feeling it a little bit, right? You're feeling good. you're figuring out that maybe you do have some things that can work against this Ruston defense. It's not a complete mismatch like it had appeared to be early on in this game. Now you're 14-7. You're right back into the ball game. What a big sequence of events there for the Wreckin Rams.
That's going to be a false start on the Wreckin Rams on the point after. But nonetheless, let's go back to the special teams. And I know this counts as special teams, but what a huge special teams play.
That's right.
Listen, there's three facets to every game. Your offense, your defense, and your special teams. And the special teams definitely doesn't get enough love. But let's talk about last year. The special teams were phenomenal.
Yes.
And it continues into this year with a block punt out the gate. So, got to find ways to get yourself back into ball games. And that was definitely an exciting way to do so.
It happens so often that the special teams comes up with a big play and get you back into a game that you thought you weren't even in at all.
Tyler Lambertino to hold. The kick is up. Kick is good. 7:50 left to go in the half. Acadiana cuts it in half. Your score, Ruston 14, Rams 7. We'll take a quick break, but stick around for more Wreckin Ram Productions here on YouTube. Ball's going to be brought in at the goal line, but a great special teams tackle right there. Going to bring them down at about the 20-yard line. And again, Acadiana showing up on special teams.
Special teams came to play tonight, making a couple of big plays and getting the Wreckin Rams right back into the game. It is a total team game, right? It's not
Absolutely,
just
three
offense
facets.
and defense. The special teams is coming up, and if Acadiana somehow figures out a way to pull this one out, they'll probably point to their special teams.
Again, while we have a second, looking forward to next week. First home broadcast against the Zachary Broncos. You want to talk about two gauntlet games out the chute? It doesn't get much more tough than that. And then I'll take it a step further. You got STM at week 3, but that'll be on the road. But next week, the first home broadcast. And again, fans, this is not going to be our broadcast setup for the year. Our home broadcast, you're going to have on-screen scoreboards, stats. It's going to be a college-style and NFL-style production. 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Ball's at the 20. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off up the middle. Nothing doing. Heck of a job right there. Looks like Pop Francis able to stone him. Going to be a loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
The run up the middle is just not there for Ruston tonight. Every time they go, Acadiana's kind of sniffed it out. You mentioned their first 3 opponents. Ruston tonight, Zachary next week, STM in week 3. Counting us, that's 4 teams that went into the Dome last year. So, it's an incredible beginning to the season for Acadiana.
Quarterback under center, one receiver near side. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, throws down the field. Wide open, and that's going to be a big gain. Ball's going to be brought in at about the 38-yard line, and it'll be enough for a Bearcat first down. On the catch was number 16, the tight end, Cullen Clark.
We talked about Joshua Brantley, how big he is, how big his arm is. He's a Tulane commit, hard Tulane commit, so he's going to be playing for the Green Wave next year, and he showed what he can do right there. Rolled out and kind of found that wide open receiver.
Going to keep it himself, trying to turn the corner, and he does, but he only gets a gain of, let's call it 4, maybe 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Ball is going to be placed. No, they'll give him 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Ball is going to be placed at the 43-yard line.
He's a very impressive athlete, very impressive young man. He has speed. He has a great arm. He just kind of has it all. And like you mentioned, he was 6'5", and he looks every bit of it.
Ruston across the board looks very – it's going to be a false start. False start on the Bearcats, and they're going to back them up. And, hey, maybe it's their turn to get a couple penalties.
Yeah, got to get a couple penalties to kind of pay us back. We've been giving them some yards.
Acadiana's got to find a way to make them pay for these penalties.
Yeah, we got to get there. So if you do recall, though, we do get the ball to start the second half because Ruston started it up.
Correct.
So 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. If we can somehow get a stop, maybe score, maybe try to play make it, take it. You always want to try to play, get that extra possession, right? That would be big right here.
2nd and 11. Takes the snap. It's a toss play near side. Turns the corner. breaks a tackle, and he's going to get all those yards back. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball's going to be placed at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, I got to feel it on the film this week whenever the Wreckin Rams are studying on defense. They're going to figure out some kind of outside contain because anytime Ruston goes outside, they just have a big gainer. It's 8, it's 9, it's 10 yards.
Quarterback keep up the middle, and they're going to say he has enough. That'll be enough for the Ruston first down. Ball's going to be at the 50. That's a gain of 2.
Yeah, somehow when Ruston does go outside, we're going to have to figure out a way to stop it because once they see that they're just able to move the ball at will, anytime they go outside with a run or a pass, they're just going to keep going to it because it works for them.
And something that I've noticed so far, that little hesitation toss play has gone for big gains every time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going for 10, 15 yards every time they've ran it. So
yeah, anytime they don't take that initial read and kind of go to a secondary read, there's a big gain for Ruston. So we're going to have to figure that out.
Timeout down on the field, and we'll take a quick timeout up here as well. There is 6 minutes left in the first half. Ruston 14, Rams 7. You're listening and watching Wreckin Ram Productions on YouTube.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Bearcats. Ball's at the 50-yard line. Quarterback's going to be under center with a fullback and a running back behind him. One receiver to the far side. Looks to the sideline for the play. It seems like they're changing the formation possibly. And they are. Shotgun formation, 1 running back, 2 receivers. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Looks far side. It's a 1-on-1 deep down the field. Oh! Touchdown, Bearcats.
Yeah, I mean, what you going to do
Saw something they liked, checked out of the original formation, went to a shotgun, and they had a 1-on-1 up top. And just got burnt.
I mean, yeah, you got burnt, and it was a great catch. I didn't get the number of the kid who caught it, but Brantley just put it out there, and the kid went and grabbed it. I mean, it was just a great play. That's a play that you're more than likely not ever going to stop. I mean, it's just like you said, checked out of that initial play and got the over the top 1-on-1.
Well, here's the good news. 5:50 left to go in the half. Rams going to get the ball back, and they get the ball back after halftime. So if you can find a way to go down the field and score, you're still looking pretty.
Yeah.
Kick is up. Kick is good. 5:50 left to go in the half. Your Bearcats, excuse me. Got to get used to that one. Ruston 21, your Wreckin Rams 7.
Well, Cole, look, I mean, the Wreckin Rams have a touchdown on the board via a big special teams play, but the offense has yet to really sustain a drive and move the ball down the field. There's 5 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first half. It's going to be big if they're able to do that here. And you know what? I hate saying this, even if they don't get points, right? Obviously, we want points. Obviously, we want to get in the end zone and score a touchdown. But if they can just sustain a drive, get a few first downs, 8-play, 10-play drive, burn this clock all the way down, hopefully punch it in. But even if you don't, it just shows Ruston that you will be able to move this football.
I want to see if Ruston's going to opt to keep doing that sky kick to DeBetta, because me and you both know that is a heck of a kick returner. You give DeBetta a step, and he's going to take a mile.
And the last one, I think he had an opening, but he ran into his own player. I think he probably would have had 20 or 30 yards if he wouldn't have done that.
So let's see what they opt to do here. The first 2 kicks tonight have been sky kicks, both of them to DeBetta. Returned them, across. I think the last one was at the 30. The other one before that was a little bit further, but let's see what they do. Sky kick the other way. Brought it at the 20. He fumbles the snap, but that's Jonah Goche looking for a lane, and he's going to be brought down at the 30. But it could have been danger.
I'll tell you what, he dropped the ball, but as soon as he went up, I think if he goes outside, I'm not going to say he houses it, but he probably gets it to midfield. But he kind of went inside, and that's where all the Ruston players were. So, look, what we got, 5:45 to go. Let's sustain a drive. If they want to keep it on the ground, great. There's no need to panic right now. But you have to try to get it in the end zone. And if you don't, at minimum, you have to be able to sustain a drive. You have to be able to get a few first downs. They can't do a 3 and out or a 4 and out. They have to be able to move the football.
1st and 10 Rams. Ball's going to be at the 30-yard line. 70 yards needed to get on the scoreboard. 2 receivers near side, handoff up the middle. That's Goche. Nothing doing. Maybe they're going to give him 2 on the gain. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about 70 yards. That's nothing for this offense. Even without throwing the football, we've seen so many times a 2-play 75-yard drive
Correct.
where Acadiana finds the end zone. So, I mean, it's nothing for this team to be able to move 70 yards in 5 minutes. Plenty of time.
2nd and 8. Ball is placed at the 32-yard line. Little weird formation here. Oh, there we go. 2 receivers far side, split back veer behind DeBetta. Receiver goes in motion. It's a toss play. It's going to be a pass play, and he's wide open.
Oh.
DeBetta on the far side. He's to the 40. To the 45 and down at the 50-yard line, and what a play. A little trickery right there. Russell Babineau to Caden DeBetta, and that's enough for a Wreckin' Ram first down.
I talked about it in the pregame. Babineau played a game last year at Sulphur, played quarterback, was able to go in there and throw the football. And when I talked to Russell after that game, he said, look, I'm doing whatever it takes to win. Whatever they want me to do, run the ball, pass the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, whatever, I'm going to do it. And he just proved it right there. And that's the 2 playmakers right there, Russell Babineau and Caden DeBetta. That's the 2 guys you're hoping to lead this offense.
What's the saying? You get that dog in them. Russell Babineau got that dog in him.
Yeah, no doubt.
2 receivers near side, split back veer behind DeBetta. Takes the snap, he hands it off. Trying to turn the corner, and he does. That's a good run right there. Going to be a gain of about 8. Looking at 2nd and 2.
Was that Babineau?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was Babineau. So that's another.
No, actually, that is number 9 right there. That was Taden Collins on the carry.
All right. So Taden was 4 last year. So Taden and Caden swap numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
They actually gave him 7, so it's gonna be 2nd and 3. But we're getting used to these numbers here, folks. It's week 1. So same formation, 2 receivers near side, split back veer. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle. That's Goche. And that's going to be enough for a Wreckin' Ram first down.
So, look, Cole, this is exactly what we talked about, right? They're showing Ruston that, hey, look, we are going to be able to move the football here. You guys are just going to come in and stop us every time. We can sustain a drive. A couple of first downs, a nice little trick play from Babineau, but able to move the football. And that's what they're doing right here. They're already across midfield. They're across the 40-yard line. The time is ticking on the clock. You get the ball after halftime, they got to find a way to get in the end zone now.
4:20 left to go in the first half. Ruston leading 21-7, but the Rams are marching right here. 1st and 10. Ball is at the 38-yard line. 1 receiver to each side. Split back veer behind DeBetta. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle. That's Goche. Turning his feet. What a strong run. He's not going to get much, but he's going to get a gain of 2 or 3. But I tell you what, it was blowing up at the line of scrimmage. He kept those feet pumping.
No, the official was all the way across the 35-yard line.
You saw that, right?
Bounced back to the other side of the 35. The forward progress.
Flag on the play. Face mask on the Bearcats. That's big. Got to take advantage.
First down.
But I saw that as well.
Yeah, if the forward progress took you across the 35, that's that. You can't back yourself up. What's going on there?
You see, and us as announcers up here, we look to those far side referees to see
Yes.
where the ball is spotted. And I was with you. It kind of confused me for a second, but the penalty negates that, and it's another Wreckin' Ram first down.
That's one thing, Cole, you're gonna have to get used to with me in the booth every game is that I'm not a real big fan of the officials. So I'll get on them if they start pulling some shenanigans. I can bite my tongue on the sidelines, but I can't do it up in the booth.
Oh, shenanigans. 1st and 10 for the Wreckin' Rams. 2 receivers far side. Whistles on the field. I believe this is going to be a timeout. Timeout down on the field. 3:37 left to go in the half. Ruston 21, your Wreckin' Ram 7. We'll take a break with them. You're watching Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. We're back at the Hoss, Ruston, Louisiana. 3:30 left to go in the first half. Wreckin Rams driving. 1st and 10. Takes the snap. Handoff up the middle. Looks like he ran into a guy. Oh, it's a keeper. He kept it himself. He's down to the 5-yard line. He'll be down at the 4. They faked me out, Nick. I'm going to be honest with you, but that's enough for another Wreckin Ram first down. Who was that?
That's
on the carry?
Russell Babineau. I was going to say, I don't have
What
to
an
ask you.
incredible fake.
I don't even have to ask you who that was. I knew that was Russell.
I'm gonna be honest
Babineau.
with you. Thought that it looked like DeBetta handed it off to Goche on a dive or like a trap play. But I tell you what, Russell Babineau able with the ball in his hands to turn that corner and get the first down. So
But he didn't only fake you out, Cole. He faked out the whole defense because Russell was over here by himself on the
great
sideline.
play, 1st and goal. Wreckin Rams. Ball is at the 3-yard line. Takes the snap, hands off Goche. Can he get in? Yes, he does. Pitbull Jonah Goche with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Flag.
And the Rams close the gap. Flag on the play. They're pointing. It looks like the Rams are pointing to Ruston, though, and I do believe this is against the Bearcats.
Hey, that is exactly what you needed right there. A great drive to get the ball all the way down the field. Run. A couple of trick plays, a couple of play calls. That's what I've been most impressed with Acadiana so far tonight on offense is the play calls. The execution might not be as crisp as you want it to be, but they're calling the right plays. The Betta's making the right reads. Like everything that I've heard so far about what's happened in the offseason is coming to fruition here with the Betta really having a handle on the offense and where to go with the football.
So the penalty was against the Bearcats. They're going to accept it on the kickoff, Nick. So on to kick is Eddie Hernandez. On the hold, Ty Lambertina. 21-13, pending the extra point. Takes the snap. It's a little high one, but handled well by Lambertina. Kick is up. Kick is good. 21-14 with 3:26 left to go in the half. And, man, with Acadiana getting the ball back, you really need the Terrible Turks to stand tall right here and force a stop.
They have to step up and do something. And I think that they had some things going on that last drive. They just got beat over the top with a great pass from Brantley. But the defense is going to have to step up and kind of get the ball back. And you don't want to get – I don't want to get too greedy and say get the ball back in this half and kind of have the offense march it down. But just make a stop. Prevent Ruston from getting in the end zone here, because if you go into the halftime at 21-14 getting the ball back, I think you're sitting pretty good and feeling good about where you are.
Absolutely, especially the way that the offense has been able to move the ball the last few drives.
But I mean, this is it. Like, this is what we knew it was going to be, right? Neither team was going to lay down. It's two teams that went to the Superdome last year to play for a state championship. Two teams that are expecting to do the same thing this year, right? Like, this is the type of game we thought it was going to be. Neither team really dominant. Neither team really, putting their will on there and really dominating and blowing out the other team. Like, we knew it was going to be a kind of a slobber knocker, if you will, and that's what we're doing right now.
Again, folks, there was a penalty on the touchdown play that Acadiana accepted on the kickoff, so Eddie Hernandez is going to be kicking off on the opposite 45 into the end zone. And I've seen Eddie kick before. That he could drill this one through the uprights.
Yeah, well, let's hope he does.
It's an onside kick. Takes a bounce. Going to be fielded by the Bearcats, though, and something in my gut, Nick told me that Matt McCullough was going to try something like that. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was a heck of an onside, just not able to come up with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that bad. I mean, if you think about, like, if it'd be like a regular kick, this is probably where Ruston would have returned it and got field position. It's across the 30-yard line. It's about the 27-yard line. So definitely a big call, a great call by McCullough, and they almost got it. Looks like we have a Wreckin Ram down on the field.
It looks like number 14, Caleb Andrus, down on the field.
Oh, we called his name a bunch because they changed his number in the pregame. So Caleb Andrus was a big point of emphasis in conversation in the pregame, but he's down.
And we'll confirm that in a second. He has been laying on the ground for what I can see. It looked like 1 and 4 on the jersey. But we'll take a quick timeout. 3:25 left to go in the first half. Ruston 21, Wreckin Rams 14. You're watching Wreckin Ram Productions on YouTube. First and 10 for the Bearcats I formation. Takes the snap, hands off up the middle, looking for a hole, breaks a tackle, but, he spins off. You see, that's what we've been talking about all night.
Tackle by 54.
Going to be a gain of 7, going to be 2nd and 3, but it really should have been like a 2nd and 8. Just heck of a run right there by the running back, able to spin off of a tackle. But man, oh man, we've talked about it all first half. Got to make those tackles.
Got to make those first tackles.
Going quick, Bearcats. Under center, takes the snap, hands off up the middle again, dances in the hole. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Going to be a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Ball is at the 35-yard line, but the Rams did a much better job right there of containing.
Yeah, and Keeman got to be careful there because he kind of launched himself out there with the elbow. He didn't make contact with the head because the guy started going down. But if he had stayed up, I think that elbow was going to kind of hit him in the head. So Keeman kind of looked out there by the guy just kind of falling down, and Keeman missed him with that elbow. You got to be careful on that targeting.
3rd and 2 for the Bearcats under center. Toss play, far side, looking for a hole. Not able to get there. Let's see where the spot is. He definitely got a yard, but it depends on where the spot is. Waiting to see. It's right at the stick. I mean, this might call for measurement. If he is short, Nick, let's play devil's advocate. Are you going for this if you're Ruston, or are you putting it?
They gave
him a first down, so it doesn't even matter.
But I mean, to your point though, I don't think I'm giving Acadiana the football right there. I'm going for it. I want to try to get that 1 yard because right now all of the momentum's with Acadiana. You give them the football, they're more than likely they got 2 minutes to go. They march down and get some points there.
Shotgun formation. One receiver, far side goes in motion. Fakes the toss. Quarterback's going to keep it himself near side. Turns the corner, and he's got room. Across the 50, to the 40. One man to beat, and he beat him. He's going.
Yep.
20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bearcats.
It's sometimes you play against a player who has elite speed, and that's what that kid has. I mean, he's just – I don't know if he's the fastest player on the field, but he's up there, and he's faster than anybody that we have on defense. And once he got to that open field, you just knew he was gone. You get those guys that just have that speed, and Brantley's one of them. And, man, he busted it outside and that was 6 all day.
Shades of Jawan Johnson.
That's right.
With more size, of course,
Sure.
more size, but shades of Jawan Johnson for LCA last year. I mean, he's the same type of kid.
That's right.
Lots of speed and a good arm.
Yeah, you play against those players, and you kind of just – at some point you just kind of, tip your hat to him, and you're in awe of what he can do on the football field.
Kick is up. Kick is good. But here's the good news, Nick. You got 2 minutes left in this half. You're down by 14. Can the Wreckin Rams create a little magic to go down the field and get 7 more before the half?
I mean, we know they can. We know that, every year they'll have a drive where they go, 80 yards in 2 plays and bust a big one. And we haven't really seen Goche bust that big one. We've seen him kind of out the chute, like you said, with the speed and showing off the wheels, but he hasn't been able to find that hole and bust one. But the offense is definitely capable of doing that, and they're going to need to try to do it because 28-14 and 28-21 is completely different going into the half. And we were talking about 21-14. Now you're looking at 28-14. So you really want to try to cut into that lead a little bit.
I'm curious to see what they do here on the kick on the kickoff. Like I keep saying, they've been sky kicking it. At the 20-yard line is standing Colin DeBetta and Jonah Goche. That's 2 of your better returners. Usually they're in the back. So
right.
I think we're starting to kind of cue on that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if they kick it deep, but maybe there's a reason he's not. Let's find out. But it would be a heck of a time to have a special teams play right here.
Yeah. I mean, special teams is why you're in this football game, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, it's
a squib kick, and it's to Jonah Goche. He's going to let it bounce, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. So it was another sky kick in the direction of Jonah Goche, just a little too far and bounced out of bounds.
I mean, that's a penalty, right?
Yeah, it's a penalty. It's out of it. But the Rams will get the ball at the 35-yard line.
Well, it looked like the referee on the near side was like marking where it went out of bounds at. Okay, yeah, they're going.
So here we go. It will be 1st and 10 Rams at the 35. 2 minutes.
I mean, is this the time where you air it out, or are you sticking with what's worked? Because I'm telling you what, the running game has worked. They've had some success. Yeah,
I don't think you abandon the running game as a whole with 2 minutes left to go. I mean, they might come out the chute right here and run the ball, but let's see what Matt McCullough has dialed up. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, pushing the pile. Going to get a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7, but the Rams got to go quick. Only 2 minutes on the clock.
They do have 1 timeout left, so that's in their pocket. We know Matt doesn't like to go into the half without using all of his timeouts. So.
Absolutely. I think that's a rarity, if we're being honest.
He doesn't want to. He's going to use it at some point.
One receiver near side, split back veer with a wing to the far side. Handoff, going to keep it himself. It's an option. Tosses it far side. Jonah Goche cuts it back up across the 40. Breaks a tackle. He's going to be a yard short of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball is going to be at the 44-yard line.
I don't mind him fighting for those extra yards, but boy, I wish he could have got out of bounds to stop that clock. Because he probably only gained about 2 more yards than he would have if he'd have stepped out. But again, I don't mind him trying to get those extra yards.
Got to be quicker here though, Nick. A minute left in the half, and we're still not across the 50. 3rd and 1. 1 receiver far side, 1 near side. Split back veer, handoff up the middle. That's Goche. Tries to turn the corner. Across the 50. There he goes to the 40, to the 30. The ball's loose. Oh, I thought it came out for a second, but that's a great run by Jonah Goche. Ball's going to be down at the 25-yard line. It's enough for a Wreckin' Ram first down and moves the chains.
And the clock is stopped, so it's 47 seconds to go in the game. Is Matt going to use his final timeout? It's like Collins coming in with the play. Clock is running.
And again, fans, on big plays, bear with us. We're manually moving the camera as the plays go, so if it gets a little too far, please bear with us. But 1st and 10, Wreckin' Ram ball at the 25, and I think there's your timeout.
Yeah.
And not a bad one.
But I wish you'd have called it right away. Like we kind of figured he was going to call it.
You could have saved 7 seconds,
but look,
right?
hey, you're moving the football down the field. What do you feel like is Eddie Hernandez's range? Where do you think they would have to go where they would feel comfortable maybe taking 3 here?
I would say probably where you are.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
I would say the 25 in.
Yeah.
I would say the 25 in.
I agree.
I know how Matt thinks, though, and, I mean, to be able to get 7 before you go into the half and suck that momentum back would be massive, especially because you get the ball when you come back out. So I expect the Acadiana to do everything they can to get in the end zone right here.
So do you think it's 4-down territory?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I say no, but, I mean... No, I'll stick with my answer.
I like asking the questions that
Makes you think.
I know the answer. I know what your answer is going to be, and then you make me feel good about knowing that I knew exactly what you were going to say. So we're on the same
let's think
page.
about it this way. Listen, it is week 1, and you want to see what your kicking game can do, right? So a fairly deep field goal attempt. You want to see if your senior kicker got that in him to drill that and bring you, get you points before the half. That's important. So I'm going to stick with my answer and say field goal is on the table here, but. 2 receivers far side, split back veer behind the Betta, takes the snap, drops back to pass. He wings it out to his brother Colin across the 20, across the 15, cuts back in 10, 5, touchdown Rams!
What a play. What an unbelievable play.
They're going to say he fumbled the ball out of the back of the end zone.
Oh my goodness.
And there's no replay here. Oh, holy moly.
Well, Matt
this is going to be a massive call, ladies and gentlemen.
Matt's about to come unglued.
It looks like I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Whew. They marked him out of the 2. But I will be honest with you. The ball did get punched out and rolled past the pylon. Got real nervous. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's 1st and goal for the Wreckin' Rams. Ball is at the 3-yard line. Handoff up the middle. That's Parker Bruno, and he got absolutely stoned.
We have no timeouts.
Oh, man, they got to get on the ball. Got to spike it here. Caden doing a great job getting the guys back up to the line. Snaps the ball, spikes the ball. Great job. 13 seconds, though.
Flag.
What do you think that flag is?
It might be a false start. It might be a false start.
Let's see. Definitely hope not.
Dead ball.
It is. False start on the Rams.
I mean, listen, how do you make that call? I mean, come on. These kids are out there trying to get set, trying to spike the ball, make a play.
So here's your good news, bad news. The spike would have made it 3rd down. Okay? Spike would have made it 3rd down, but they accepted the penalty, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. So you still got time, but Nick, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe we're going to the air here.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Yeah, I mean, you can't run it.
There's no chance. With no timeouts, you got to go to the air here. Takes the handoff, rolls out near side. He's got room. Looking across the field, throws it. It's caught. Touchdown, Rams.
Russell Babineau with the catch. Those are your guys that we want to see him go to. Russell runs across the field and makes a touchdown play.
That was an absolute laser beam by Caden DeBetta. And ladies and gentlemen, the Rams perfected a 2-minute drive right there. Man, what a huge momentum swing to go into halftime.
And look, that wasn't one of those drives where they like bust one of those plays and you get a 70-something yard run. That was methodical. They ran the football, they passed the football, they made plays, they got the benefit of some penalties and took advantage of it, and with no time left on the clock, scored a touchdown.
I'm just so impressed by the throw that Caden DeBetta made right there. That was a laser beam on the
Yes.
run, but we talked about it last year. He is excellent on the run,
That's right.
making those passes. And ladies and gentlemen, that's your halftime. Acadiana sucking back a little bit of that momentum, but they do go down at the half, down 7. Ruston 28, your Wreckin Rams 21. Stick around. We'll do a little halftime show for you guys. You're listening to Wreckin Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back to the Hoss here in Ruston, Louisiana. What a heck of a first half it was. Halftime score. And just to clarify, right before we went to the half, did miss the extra point. So halftime score, Ruston 28, Wreckin Rams 20. But a great job by the Wreckin Rams right there, going down, performing a pretty perfect 2-minute drill, and getting points on the board against the #1 team in the state. And I just got to say, how big of a momentum swing is that going into halftime?
I mean, if you recall, it wasn't that long ago, we were talking about potentially going down 21-0.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were like, man, what are we going to do down 21-0 on the road at Ruston? It's not looking good. And all of a sudden, boom, a special teams play on a block punt gets us in the end zone. And then a couple of trick plays in the second drive gets us another touchdown in the end zone. And then that final drive, that 2-minute, perfection when it comes to a 2-minute drive, passing the ball, running the ball, a laser from Caden DeBetta to Russell Babineau to get in the end zone and make it a one-score game, and you get the ball back in the second half. I mean, all the momentum. At that point, when it's 14-0 and Ruston has the ball, every bit of momentum was on the Ruston sideline. It looked really bleak, and, you know, a few minutes later and a quarter later, you're one score down, and the momentum is firmly on your side right now. If you can come out in the second half and score a touchdown and even up this ball game, I mean, the momentum is just soundly on your side at that point.
Yeah, and we said it all first half. I mean, it's three facets to the game, and I'll tell you what, Acadiana special team has really stepped up in the first half, and you even said it. That's what has us in the ball game right now. That block punt, and even the kick returns have been, really key to the touchdowns that we've scored. I mean, I'll say this. I thought we waited in the first half a little too long to start throwing the ball, and you've seen it. I mean, ever since we've been kind of, scoring and moving things. But at the same time, Week 1, we talked about it going in. You're not very strong in Week 1, at least not recently. It looks like maybe we've turned in the page on that. You're playing the #1 team in the state. It's kind of that punch in the mouth wake-up call, and it looks like you've responded in the second quarter.
It was very clear that the game plan early on was to run the football, right? We saw that first opening drive. They didn't throw the ball at all. It was run, and they didn't have much success with it. And so, they made the adjustment early on. They were going to start airing it out and throwing the football, and that's when you start having success. And even the second drive kind of got snuffed out, but you saw that they were starting to open it up. By the third drive, they started throwing the football. And look, we're just going to have to come to terms with it. Long-term, old-school Acadiana High football fans from the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, where you threw the ball 2 or 3 times a game, and that's over. Like, we just have to get used to that. And I think at the beginning of the game, look, Matt McCullough was a quarterback in this system. He was a quarterback for this school. To his core, he is old school Acadiana High football. And I think at the beginning of the game, they go back to that. That's just what they know. And he's having an issue with kind of letting that go and letting the players that you have a UL commit in Russell Babineau that can open up the field. You have a quarterback, a 3-year starter, probably has the strongest arm we've ever seen under center, that can throw the football. We saw him make that laser throw to end the second half. So, Matt himself is kind of opening up a little bit, and I think that's what we saw at the beginning of the game, where he was just he just wants it to be what Acadiana football has always been. And this team, the makeup of this team, it just allows you to spread it out. And once Matt kind of does that and lets the players kind of play and do what they can do, you saw the success they had. And I think the personnel on this team, the offensive weapons that they have, they're going to be able to air it out with success pretty much against every team. This is arguably the best team, if not one of the best teams, top 2, top 3 at worst teams you're going to play this year. And you see Caden and Russell, they're able to work together, move the football, and have some success throwing the ball. So I think Matt's going to start, inching it off a little bit and letting them throw a little bit more, and we'll see some successful passes.
And that's what I was going to say. Ever since they went to those fake hands off where you kind of let Caden turn around and kind of roll out a little bit, those plays have been working very well for the Rams in the second quarter. First quarter was, run. But let's turn the page to the defense. Acadiana was able to make a stop or two in the first half. But, if you're going to beat Ruston, you're going to have to make more consistent stops. And it started with tackling, right? Like, we've seen a lot of missed tackles in this first half. I think if you clean that up, that's going to go a long way. Secondly, you got to find a way to contain that quarterback because you saw him run all over the field in the first half.
Yeah, and those missed tackles have come back to bite them, right? The first read, the first gap, whatever you want to call it, that the running back makes or the quarterback makes, Acadiana snuffs it out, and they're able to make penetration. Sometimes they make the stop, and sometimes they don't. But either way, they're making that right read and figuring out where the mesh point is, where the ball is going to be, and making the play. But Ruston has had great success with breaking the first tackle and then able to get 3 and 4 yards. So what could be either a tackle for loss or a no gainer ends up being a 4-yard gain. And while you might not think 3 and 4 yards is all that much, it becomes almost like an 8 or 9 yard gain when you talk about what you could have had in the loss. So they have to start shoring that up. And it was an issue last year. We talk about it very often last year when you guys would throw it to me in the sideline. That was one of the biggest things the coaches were talking about. It's one of the biggest hamperings that the team was facing last year was those missed tackles, making the play, making the right read. And, you just feel like you've done something, right? You've accomplished it. You've had success. You've done what they needed to do, and then you just get demoralized with a broken tackle and then busting a big play. So that has to get cleaned up. If they get that cleaned up, I think they'll be all right. Not only in this game, but moving forward. Making that first play, making that initial play, and actually bringing the running back down, bringing the ball carrier down. That's going to be big. They struggled with that in the first half against
right.
Ruston.
And let's kind of talk about Ruston. I expected Ruston to throw the ball a little bit more. Now they haven't had to. Obviously, they had some success on the ground, but my worry, let's call it what it is, if you're Acadiana, and I'm playing devil's advocate, and you're able to stop the run, I mean, you still got to deal with that quarterback and his big arm and those big receivers out there. I mean, we saw them, they audibled out to a different formation and throw a bomb down the sideline. I mean, that's what you're dealing with. So, the second half's not going to be, if you're able to stop the run, the second half, could still be a challenge because you still have to cover the entire sideline to sideline because they're going to throw the ball on you.
Yeah, it was a great comp that you made with Josh Brantley, who's the quarterback here at Ruston, the Tulane commit. You made a comp earlier in the game calling him Jawan Johnson, who was last year's quarterback at LCA, who's apparently going to be playing some running back tomorrow for the LSU Tigers. But I would say Jawan is maybe a slightly a hair of a better athlete than Brantley, but Brantley has everything you want in a quarterback. He has the build. He's a big quarterback. Obviously has a big arm, runs it with tremendous speed. He's going to Tulane, so he's already he's a Division I quarterback. And those Division I quarterbacks, they don't grow on trees. When you find one that can make throws like he made in the first half, make the plays with his legs. I mean, he's just a very impressive young man, and Acadiana had their hands full with him. So that's exactly right what you're saying. If they're able to stop the run, that might force Ruston to start airing it out, and that's not exactly a good thing because if Brantley has the ball in his hands, he's able to make a play. Similar to last year at LCA, we saw that we have some men on our team that are going to play Division I football. We have some very good players, but Jawan Johnson was the best player on the football field last year, and I think it's apparent that Josh Brantley is the best player on the football field. One more thing before we go back to break or send it to the second half. Cole and I, we talked about it off the air. I'm not going to say that Ruston's a better team. Maybe they are. But it's time to win a game against a team that might be better than you, right? Yeah, we're going to go in the district, and we're probably going to, roll in district and beat those teams, beat the Comos and the Sulphurs. Like, it's time to step up and play a team that might be better than you and come out with a win. On the road. Right, we always play this week 1 game against a powerhouse, and we never get the W. Right, we play LCA, we take a L. We play John Curtis, we take a L. We play in Ruston here in their house. It's time to go and play one of these powerhouse teams and come out with a W. So we'll see what the offense has on this opening drive, but it would be so big for the momentum of this season if they could get that done.
Absolutely. And listen, I do want to clarify, and I'm not putting words in your mouth. Regular season, that's what you need to have. Now in the postseason, we know Acadiana is a totally different team.
They flipped the switch.
You saw with Holy Cross. You saw it going to Edna Car, the hardest place to play in Louisiana. Right. But you're talking regular season. You got to find a way to win these games.
Well, we historically playoff time our time. So I'm talking about these regular seasons where you start the season off hot. You got a big opponent. It's a hot game, and then it's so crushing, and you're kind of climbing up the hill. And then once the playoffs start, we know they're going to flip that switch. But how great would it be to just go in, play a defending state champion, the number 1 team in the state, a team that's they kind of dominated you in that first quarter, and you kind of feel like, man, this team might be better than us. To be able to come from behind and take a win away from a team like this, I just think it would be big. And I feel like we kind of just accept that. Oh well, they lost and they're going to flip the switch in the postseason. No, we want to be able to come back and pick up a win against a team like Ruston.
I totally agree, Nick. Well, we are seconds away from the opening kick of the second half, and again, thank you for joining us tonight on our very first broadcast here on YouTube. Wreckin Ram Productions, 28-20 game so far. Your Wreckin Rams trail by 8, but they do get the ball to start the second half.
We didn't really know what to expect from this YouTube thing. It's our first time doing it, obviously, but I feel like it's going pretty well. I feel like it's going pretty smooth, and we're finding our groove and kind of getting into the swing of things, and I think the second half is going to be great.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kickoff of the second half. Going to be another sky kick. This one's going to be taken in by DeBetta. Brought across the field. Trying to turn the corner. Breaks one tackle. Not able to break another. He's going to be brought down at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't even know where he received it, but I think he received it in front of the 20. And
I think he lost a couple
of yards. Yeah, he lost a couple of yards on that one, but that's all right. We saw what they were able to do, right? It was a great 2-minute drive to drive the football down the field. So the offense has to take that momentum, have an opportunity to play some make it, take it. We love to do that.
Absolutely. So 1st and 10 for the Wreckin Rams. Ball is at the 20-yard, let's call it the 19-yard line. Going to have to go 81 yards to get on the scoreboard. One receiver each side, split back veer behind Caden DeBetta. 8 seconds on the play clock. Takes the snap, hands off up the middle. They're going to give them a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball is at the 20-yard line.
So running the football there, obviously we don't mind it. It's a fine call, but they have to start getting some success with those opening running plays, right? I feel like that first down play hasn't been able to get positive yardage, right? We'll take 3-3-4 down the field, but when you get those 1 and 2 yard gains, it kind of puts you behind the sticks.
Same formation, one receiver each side, split back veer behind DeBetta. It's 2nd and 9, ball at the 20. Takes the snap, takes the handoff, he rolls far side. He's got a little room, but he trying to turn the corner, and he does. Across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Let's see where they spot him. It will be the 25, a gain of 5, and it looks like it'll be a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's what everybody's been talking about in the offseason. Everybody that I've talked to with Caden is just his ability to make that read, right? He looked upfield. He kept his eyes upfield for as long as he possibly could. He saw that he didn't have anything. He tucked it and ran, picked up 5 yards, made a positive out of what could have been a negative. He was under pressure. They had 2 defensive linemen in the backfield. Didn't bother him, stayed cool, and he picked up 5 yards. So that's the understanding of the offense that everybody's been talking about with Caden DeBetta that we're going to be experiencing this year.
3rd and 4 for the Rams. One receiver each side, split back veer. It's going to be an option far near side. Breaks a tackle, but not going to break another.
Yeah,
they're going to tackle him. It's going to be a loss of 5. And it's going to be 4th and 10 for the Rams. And, you got to punt.
Yeah, you're going to have to punt there. So that's unfortunate, but, we don't want to take away any of the momentum that they may have had. It's still an opportunity for the defense. But, honestly, the defense, it hasn't had that much success here stopping the Ruston offense. So if they've made the adjustments, we've talked about it all the time, the Acadiana coaches, they have the video and all that stuff on the sidelines to be able to make these halftime adjustments. They have done well with the halftime adjustments in the past, so hopefully they made some of the adjustments of what was working for the Ruston offense, and the defense will be able to have an opportunity to slow Brantley down.
Let's see here. Resetting the clock, it seems like. No, they're going to call it a delay of game.
Oh.
Delay a game on the Wreckin Rams will back them up.
I know exactly what McCullough's going to say when I go down to talk to him post-game. Penalties. I mean, it has been a killer. They've had some penalties on the Ruston side too, but it feels like ours have been just very often.
4th and 14, and Ty Lamartina back to punt. He needs to get one away deep here. High snap, fielded though. And that is a end-over-end punt, going to be bounced at the 45-yard line and down at the 45-yard line.
Took a little bit of a ram bounce, but then it kind of
veered back
into the other side and took a Ruston side. So Ruston is going to have great field position to start here in the second half, starting on the Wreckin Rams side of the 50-yard line. And I mean, at this point, I would think that they're in 4-down territory, right? I mean, I think they're just going to go for it. I don't think they're going to be punting the football.
It would have to be a long situation for them to kick it.
Yeah, they're going to get to like a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 4 and get stuffed, and now it's 4th and 4. I'm thinking they're going to go for it.
So again, we want to thank you for tuning into our first broadcast here on YouTube. Still kind of ironing out the kinks with the camera work. We're doing everything manually up here, folks, so keep bear with us.
Yeah, if it's good, I'll take credit. If it's bad, it's all Cole's fault.
Yeah. Toss to the far side. Breaks a tackle across the 40 to the 46. To the 36. and that's going to be a big gain, a gain of 8. It looks like it's going to be 2nd and 2.
That's one of the few times, might be the only time that they ran up the middle and they would have success. That play right there has been stuffed out all night long, and they were able to run up the middle and pick up the 6-7 yards right there.
It's going to call it 2nd and 3. Ball at the 37-yard line. Toss play near side. Tries to cut it back, but it's blown up. I think that was Valen Charles, big 54.
Valen Charles, you're correct.
Senior Valen Charles coming up and making a play, a big play right there. It's going to be a loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Bearcats.
We both went to our rosters to make sure we had that name right because he needed to be called out. Great play by Charles. Big number 54 made a fantastic play for a loss of 2.
There's some kids, though, that just, the ones that did keep their number that are just ironed into
Yeah.
your brain, and that was one of them. Valen Charles, great play right there.
Great play.
3rd and 6 for the Bearcats. Let's see if the terrible Turks can hold. I formation, 1 receiver near side, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throwing deep down the field on a corner route, and it's complete. Breaks the tackle, and that's a touchdown.
Cole, the broken tackles have to get cleaned up. I mean, that's unacceptable right there. You got to be able to bring that kid down. Now, I don't know if he was going to be able to because the kid that caught it was huge, but he didn't even try to wrap him up. He just kind of went for a hit, kind of dove at the knee there, and was able to easily break the tackle. But then the broken tackles have been pretty bad tonight and have cost the Wreckin Rams a few big plays.
So add another 6 on the board for Ruston. Your score with 8:45 left to go in the game.
Brantley took
8:45 in the third quarter, 34-20, Ruston.
Brantley took a big hit from McKinley there and just stayed cool in the pocket and delivered that ball.
Kick is up, kick is good. 35-20 here at the Hoss, Ruston, Louisiana. Beautiful night for football, but Acadiana's got some work to do. Stick around for more Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. .8:45 left to go in the third quarter. Welcome back to Ruston. Ruston leads 35-20. Let's see what Acadiana can do here. Hopefully a decent return on special teams.
Yeah, special teams is going to have to make another play, I feel. It's been the best unit of the night so far.
Here's the kick by Ruston. It's going to be another sky kick to the far side. Taking it at about the 20, across the 30. Breaks the tackle across the 35, around the 40. And, hey, there you go. You're going to get the ball at about the 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to make them pay for that sky kick, they're just going to keep doing it, and that might be what kind of makes them kick it deep. We want them to kick it deep because that's where our threats are, but the sky kick's been working for them. They haven't really got it in good field position until now where they're starting right across the 40-yard line.
40-yard line, going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams, 60 yards to go for 6 points.
I don't think we're at a point where they have to score here, but it would really help if they did.
You're down 15. Let's, you don't want to get too far behind here. Handoff up the middle, trap play to Parker Bruno. Going to get a gain of about 2. 2nd and 8. Ball is at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, good little gain there, a 2-yard gain. You want to kind of get a few more yards down that first down play. That's what I was saying. Like when you start getting behind the sticks, it starts setting you up for a 2nd and 8 or a 2nd and 9. It kind of diminishes what you can do with the playbook because when you start getting that 3-3-4 or 4-3-4 or whatever, where you get 4 and 3 and you're getting that first down, it kind of opens up your playbook. But here now you're kind of behind the sticks.
2 receivers to the far side, split back Beer behind DeBetta, 2nd and 8. It's going to be a reverse, trying to turn the corner, and he's not going to do it. Able to break one
Ball's
tackle.
out. Ball's out.
They're going to call him down. Referee's calling him down.
Flag.
Flag.
And that might be a delay of game.
Yep.
I don't know. I disagree with that call.
So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera here for you
I mean,
folks.
even though it went in our favor, that's a kind of a ticky-tack.
It was basically a reverse of the slot receiver, Colin DeBetta, not able to turn the corner, broke a tackle, but just got kind of gang tackled, and referees called him down. There was a fumble or non-fumble picked up by Ruston and returned to the end zone. I'm expecting a delay of game.
Yeah, it looks like. Delay of
game on the defense. That's correct. And the home fans are not happy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with him. The kid just was trying to make a play. He thought it was a fumble. I don't think he, deliberately did that.
And I get that. I mean, as a player, you're in the heat of the moment, pick up a fumble, and, you don't want to stop, and then you get tackled. And what could have been. So,
whatever, we'll take it.
Yeah,
we'll take it, right?
Absolutely.
We can disagree with the call and still take the 5 yards.
So let's reset here. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Ball is at the 43-yard line. Line to gain is the 50. One receiver to each side. Split back veer behind DeBetta. And we got a timeout. Possibly. Stoppage of play.
Well, Matt's hot, but that's normal.
It's going to be a timeout on for the Wreckin Rams, but 7:35 left to go in the third quarter. Again, score here, Ruston 35, Acadiana 20. Stick around for more Wreckin Ram Productions on YouTube. We're back here at the Hoss, Ruston, Louisiana. Big 3rd down for the Bearcats. They're looking to make a stop, and the Wreckin Rams are looking to move the football. 3rd and 7, ball's at the 43-yard line. Line to gain is the 50.
You got to put it in the air here, Cole.
I think you're right. I'm expecting a rollout. Fakes the handoff, rolls out far side, looking. Throws it down the field, and he throws it out of bounds.
He didn't have anybody. Everybody was covered. I mean, that was the right play. I think if he ends up tucking and running, he's going to lose yards. I think that was the best play there, is to throw it out. Everybody was covered. I mean, everybody was blanketed.
Looking down at the field, Tyler Martina. There was a flag on the play that got waved off. Tyler Martina hesitated on the sideline for a second, and it kind of looked like they were considering going for it. But I think you got a point.
Well, Cole, now, I mean, I agree with the punt, but now the defense has to come up. If the defense allows another touchdown, I think at that point it's insurmountable.
21, I mean, you'd be down 22.
Yeah.
You'd be down 22 in the second half. Yeah, I guess the number 1 team in the state would be we were talking about Hills.
We're talking about
Hills, it'd be a mountain.
We talked about 21-0 and that being too much in the first half. If you're down by the same amount of points and +1 in the second half, I think.
Any trickery here, you think? Let's see. I've seen it before. And it is. Near side, he's got room to the 50. To the 40, across the 30, and that's where he'll be brought down, and I knew it.
Yeah, you saw it, Cole. I didn't see what you saw, but you saw that formation, and once you pointed it out, I was like, maybe he might be onto something.
It was shades of Edna Carr in the semifinals last year. It was the same setup with the same formation, and I just knew they were going to take take that quick snap and hit the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, all props to you. You saw it right away. You did.
And that's another Wreckin Ram first down. And I'll tell you, we talked about it all night. And at the halftime show, the special teams keeps coming up with these plays that keep the Rams in the game.
If the Wreckin Rams come back to win this game, it is because of the special teams.
1st and 10, a receiver to each side, split back veer, handoff up the middle. I think that's Parker Bruno on the carry. And there's a fumble on the play. And Bearcats, no, they're going to mark him down. Head referees marking him down. And I tell you what, the way they jumped, I mean, we can't, clearly it was a pile. It's hard to see up here if the ball truly was out. They have a better view. But, I mean, the Rams keep getting these breaks. And,
I mean, that is a break because to me,
that's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's definitely a break. But look, you're right. You got to take advantage of these breaks, right? You keep getting these breaks, you got to take advantage of it.
Got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone. One receiver each side, split back veer behind DeBetta. 2nd and 9, ball at the 30. Handoff is to Goche, far side, turns the corner, breaks a tackle. There he goes across the first down marker, and it will be enough for another Wreckin' Ram first down.
A broken tackle there as well, and a flag on the play.
That's going to be a personal foul on the lineman for the Rams, number 52. Let me see if I get my sheet out here. Brody Estes. That's going to be a personal foul on Brody Estes, and he's confused about it. I kind of saw it the whole way. He was blocking the guy way out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's just, that's an effort play that you can't do that. I mean, it's a senior full of seniors on the offensive line, and that's just something that you can't have, and takes away from the from the big gain there from Goche. But back to the play though, a great play from Goche, breaking the tackle, and again the broken tackles on the Ruston side have caused a couple of big plays, and a broken tackle there is what kind of sprung that one, but taking away all the yardage away.
So let's remind the fans, you're still going to get the first down on the carry. You still get the first down,
right.
But then it's a personal foul after the fact. So let's see where they spot it. It'll still be first down.
It looked like Estes was going to come off the field, but he just walked over and kind of got a little earful.
Go ahead and adjust this camera here. Again, folks, bear with us tonight. Road broadcast, we're doing everything manually up here.
I think we're doing great.
Working out the kinks, right?
So it's first and 10.
It's going to be first and 10.
Okay. All right.
First and 10, but you lost about 20 yards.
Yeah.
And, you would have had it at the 20. Now it's at the, 15 yards. Yeah, 35, yeah.
Oh, end of the quarter.
No, it's going to be a water break or whatever they like to call it. So
hydration.
Hydration timeout. 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Your score again, Ruston 35, Wreckin' Rams 20. We'll take a little hydration break with them.
Sure.
Keep sticking around, Wreckin' Ram Productions, here on YouTube. First and 10 Rams, ball's at the 35-yard line. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Goche, far side, looking for a lane. Breaks the tackle across the 30. Great run. That's going to be a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Wreckin' Rams. And there you go, Nick. You wanted a nice chunk on first down. You got it right there.
That's the bell cow that we're going to need this year. And Jonah Goche is going to be able to answer that call. I think he's the guy they're going to be relying on to have the bulk of the carries. He had a fair share of carries last year. With Hippolyte in the offense, but I think it's going to be Jonah and Tatum, and I think Jonah's going to get the lion's share of the carries, and he showed right there on that play.
And they actually gave him 6, so it's going to be 2nd and 4. Ball is at the 29-yard line, 1 receiver to each side in a split-back veer behind DeBetta. 5:20 left to go in the third quarter. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and there's flags on the play.
False start. I saw it on the outside. I didn't know if they were going to call it because it was kind of a little adjustment period, but he did jump. I saw it.
Shooting yourself in the foot.
The penalties have been a killer tonight.
Got to clean that up.
I mean, it's penalties, it's broken tackles. It's just things that should not be happening here. But it's early in the season, and you just hope it gets cleaned up for later.
So that backs him up 5 and negates the good run on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball's going to move back to the 34-yard line. Line of gains to 24. Handoff up the middle to Bruno. Tries to break a tackle, but he gets gang tackled. They're going to give him – he will get a gain. It looks like they'll give him 2, maybe 3. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, just not quite the burst that you get with Goche and Collins. Bruno's more of a power back. You can tell he's going to be getting those tough yards. You can see it's just a hair slower than when Goche has the ball. He kind of shoots out of the line. Bruno's just a hair slower, so he's going to be more that power back. We talked about it on the car ride over, how he's going to be that small package, the big package, the getting the short yardage of the end zone type of runner.
I think Acadiana goes to the air here, Nick. I think it's going to be some kind of rollout. Let's see. 2 receivers near side, split back veer. Toss play. Bruno cuts it up. Got a lane to the 30. He dropped the football, fumble. Oh, man, and he had a lane to cut back up the field and go. Yeah. I'm not sure if somebody punched it out.
I think it looked like somebody kind of reached their hand out and punched it, and it fell right on the on the ground. There was a flag on the play, but obviously it's going to get picked up.
What a killer, because honestly it was a great run by Bruno up until that point. Like I said, he had a chance to cut it up and go, but just shooting ourselves in the foot in this quarter.
It's a lot of errors that, if you get cleaned up, maybe this game is a little bit different. But, Ruston has had a lot of success on offense. And, I mean, look, I'm not taking any credit away from them. Obviously, they're a great football team. But you just look at the penalties, the missed tackles, and a play like that with a turnover. Like, it's just sometimes you just have momentum going your way and you lose it on a fumble like that, and that's exactly what happened there.
That would have been such a big drive to get points. I formation, 1 receiver far side, fakes the handoff, looks deep. He got a one-on-one. Ball is in the air, and it's a great ball. It's caught to the 30, makes the tackle. He's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line, but they're just taking advantages right now of one-on-one opportunities through the air, and that's another 50-yard pass from a really good quarterback.
But that's exactly what you're supposed to do, right? You get that one-on-one coverage, and you take a chance, and their athletes are just out-athleting us right now. And that wide receiver, I mean, we got to get his name because he's caught so many balls. I believe it's Josiah Morgan. He's caught so many balls tonight from Joshua Brantley. Like, he's a bigger kid. He's fast. They have great athletes on this team, and they're taking advantage of those one-on-one coverages.
Acadiana's got to do some bend, don't break stuff right here, folks, because a touchdown right here puts you down 3 scores going into the fourth quarter. I formation, 1 receiver far side, handoff up the middle, looking for a hole, breaks the tackle. Not able to break another, but it is going to be a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Ball's going to be placed at the 25-yard line.
It's one of these things where, like, a play like that just kind of deflates you, right? You can just tell the air is kind of out of the defense right now. The offense for Ruston has kind of had their way with doing whatever they wanted to do, and the defense is kind of deflated at this point. They don't have any answers for any of the stuff that's Ruston's throwing their way. Pass, run, RPO, whatever it is, Ruston's having success with it.
2nd and 7, ball at the 25. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. I formation, fakes the handoff. Quarterback rolls near side, pulls up and throws it deep. Good coverage. It's picked off in the end zone. He's going to return it out. He's across the 15 to the 20. Trying to cut it back up. He's not going to be able to. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. But that was Dalen Lewis with an interception. And that's what we've been talking about. Got to make a play, and Acadiana did that to keep themselves in this game.
And that's the second play that Lewis has made where the receiver is clearly taller than him. That was an underthrown ball from Brantley, and Lewis just made a great play on it. He read it the whole way. He stopped and made the play, got the interception. And look, Ruston was moving the ball. They were pretty much going to score. You needed somebody to make the play, and Dalen Lewis steps up once again.
I'll be honest with you, Nick. I'm kind of surprised to see them take a shot like that when you didn't really need to. I mean, you're up 2 scores with all the momentum. You kind of just could have kept pounding the rock and put the game away.
No, I see what you're saying, but I mean, they've had success with it, right? They had another one-on-one opportunity, and so far those one-on-one opportunities have paid off for them.
Absolutely.
It so happened that was an underthrown ball, but if Brantley makes the right throw, it's 6.
Got to take advantage here. 2 receivers far side. The better 3-step drop looking deep. He throws it across the middle. It's underthrown and picked off.
Give it right back to him.
Underthrown by DeBetta and picked off. He was trying to find Russell Babineau on a post route. And Gave it right back.
I don't think that's the right call. I see what they're trying to do, but I think you want to try. You still have enough time with 2:30 to go. You're only down 2 scores. I think you want to try to play Acadiana football there. Keep it on the ground for a few drives. Maybe take a chance when you have to. But I feel like that was you kind of got greedy there, right? You made a good play. You had a nice return. You're trying to get it all in one shot. I would have preferred to have more of a methodical drive, kind of get in the groove. It's not fourth quarter. We're not in a rush situation. We don't have to get these points right away. You had time to get a drive and run the football.
So to your point, you go down the field and score. You're only down by
correct.
1 score. So.
That's right.
1st and 10, Bearcats, balls at the 45. Shotgun, handoff up the middle. Looking for ladies. Yeah, the great stop by the Terrible Turk front line, and they're going to get a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball is at the 46-yard line.
It looked like Dejon Francis and Amarian Cooper. Is Dejon Pop?
Pop
That's
Francis.
The Pop. All right.
Pop Francis.
I know we got 2 Francis, and one of them was Pop. I didn't know which one it was, but it's
Number
Dejon.
0, Pop. Whenever I see that 0, I just go to Pop.
Gotcha. There you go. That works.
I'll drill it in my memory. But again, to your point, I don't mind the shot. It's just, was it the right time?
I don't mind taking a shot. I just don't know if that was a throw on first down. You got a little bit of momentum with the defense. I hear you trying to punch him in the face, but then he gave it right back, and now all the momentum's gone.
Correct. 2nd and 9. Quarterback's going to keep it himself near side, and this has worked for him all night, and it's going to work again across the 45 to the 40. He's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line. It's going to be enough for a Bearcat first down.
It is definitely shades of Jawan Johnson last year in the LCA game. That's exactly what Josh Brantley is doing tonight on this football field. He's running, he's passing, he's doing whatever he wants. Very impressive. Clearly the best athlete on the football field, and he's just using that athleticism to gain big yards, make big plays, and move Ruston down the football field.
And we don't get live stats, folks, but I'm curious to see what his rushing totals will be at the end of this ball game, because he has ran all over the field tonight on that play. Just a quarterback keeper standing out of the shotgun, kept it himself, goes near side, and just finds a lane and goes.
He's a very impressive football player, no doubt about it.
I formation here. Handoff's going to be up the middle. Stutter steps looking for a lane. He finds one. Going to get a gain of about 3. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Ball is at the 34-yard line.
Got to stop there. Got a small gain, but we know that what Brantley's going to be able to do with the football at any moment. He can go over the top for a big play. He can keep it for a big play. Like, Brantley is the weapon. So, you got a nice stop on first down, but can you do it 3 more times? Because at this point on this side of the football field, I think they're going to try to get 6 and try to put this game away.
Can't be discouraged if you're the Terrible Turks, though. Got to find a way to keep your offense in the game and give yourselves a chance.
And a play that Dalen Lewis made on the last drive could be what keeps him in the game.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7. Shotgun. No drop throws it near side. It's complete. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, and man, that's a big boy to get down. Seems like they're going to give him a gain of 7. He's right at the stick. Let's see what they mark it.
Yeah, that's Ahmad Hudson.
Oh, they're going to give him 6. So they're going to call it 3rd and 1. That's Ahmad Hudson. And that's an impressive looking wide receiver right there, Nick.
He's a big kid. He's a tight end. He was a all-state basketball player as well. So, and he's getting recruited. He looks like he's a 4-star recruit. He's getting a lot of looks. Florida, Houston, LSU are all looking at that kid. But he's a big, impressive young man.
I think it's 4-down territory, but Bearcats are looking at a 3rd and 1. Let's see if the Terrible Turks can make a play here. Quarterback under center. Handoff up the middle. Valen Charles able to kind of stick his arm out there and make a play. It's going to be enough for the first down, but a heck of a play by Valen Charles to contain that running back from getting more.
Yeah, it looked like he had a gain where he was going to get at least to the 20, maybe even inside the red zone. But Charles made a nice play to stop him. So first down, you have to keep him out of the end zone somehow, some way. It looks like we're going to get to the end of the quarter here. But when this fourth quarter stops, the goal has to be to keep this team out of the end zone, because being down 3 scores into the fourth quarter is going to be a super tall task for this offense to overcome.
And Nick said it. That is the end of the third quarter. And put your 4s up. It's going to be fourth quarter time. Acadiana facing a tall hill to climb. Down 15. Your score, Ruston 35, Acadiana 20. Stick around for the fourth quarter here. Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back, fourth quarter. First and 10 Bearcats. Toss play near side. Good penetration by the Rams right there. That's kind of what I was trying to say. They're going to hold them to a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9. I saw them kind of stretching it out, and the Rams did a great job on that front line, just staying with it.
Yep, very good penetration. They've been making that read pretty much all night long. I mean, that's something that they've had a lot of success with. But no, great penetration there from the Terrible Turks defensive line.
Looking down, score of note for you fans at home. It looks like STM is leading Carencro 21-7 in the third quarter.
Talk about STM losing a whole lot. They haven't lost that much, apparently.
2nd and 9. Ball at the 24. Fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself. Ooh. Gets popped, and man,
Valley Charles.
Going to get a gain of 2. It's going to be 3rd and 7, and man, it is a huge time for the Terrible Turks to stand tall, and they got to make a play to keep themselves in the
They have to make a play. I mean, there's just no other two ways about it. They have to get off the football field. They may have to make 2 plays here. They because Ruston may go for it on 4th down, but they have to get off the football field. They cannot go down 3 scores.
And I don't know what they have in terms of kicking, but I'm just going to say this for the sake of saying it. If they don't gain anything right here, I mean, you're not entirely out of field goal range. I mean, you can go up 18. You know,
still 3 scores.
Yeah. 3rd and 7. Quarterback under center puts the fullback in motion. Flag on the play. Let's see what the call is.
False start.
It's going to be a false start. The Rams have to take advantage of this.
Yeah, at this point they're kind of gifting you some opportunities here to really make a play. Now you're looking at a 3rd and long. They can't get caught over the top. They've been hit over the top. They know what that play looks like. They have to get off the field. Now you're looking at a 3rd and long. If they get either a no gain or a short gain, now you're looking at a 4th and long. I don't know if they'll go for it. So you might have an opportunity to get off for just having to make 1 play, but they may have to make 2. Brantley's capable of doing anything right here.
Going quick, quarterback under center, I formation. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, 3-step drop. It's a 1-on-1, and they got him! There he is, Darius McKinley, brother of Dominic McKinley, able to make the sack, and that's a huge play for the Wreckin Rams late in this ball game.
That's his little brother, but he ain't that little.
No,
he's a big dude. He comes up big right there. Great play from McKinley. That's the type of thing that could get his season going. A nice sack there. First sack of the game by the Wreckin Rams.
This is a very weird spot of the field for the Bears. I mean, I'm sure they're going to punt and try to, pin them deep, but I mean, they're at the 36. I mean, they're glad the gain is the 15. I don't know. It's just a weird spot.
So think about this. You haven't stopped them all night long. You get 2 stops. 1, a turnover in the end zone. The other right there, like, you have to take advantage. The offense has to come out and put the ball in the end zone. You have to pay the defense off for coming off the field.
Flags on the play. This might be a delay game. Let's see.
We flagging all day. It's just the flag.
This cannot be on Acadiana. That's all I'm saying. You can't continue to shoot yourself.
I think you come go get it.
It's got to be some kind of either false start or delay a game.
I would go get it. Go get it. Whatever's going to happen.
Backs him up more. Man, I don't know if y'all can tell at home. I'm trying to adjust the screen. Go ahead and look at the marker on the top left of your screen and then the first down on the top right. So they're going to get him. But it's a good punt. Gets it away. Ball's going to bounce at the 15, and it's going to take a great hop. And they're going to down it at the 13-yard line. Heck of a punt right there. Acadiana's going to have to go a long way for some points.
Well, 9 minutes to go in the game. At this point, they have to score on this drive. I don't think they have an opportunity to not score on this drive, give the ball back to Ruston, and have any chance to score twice. So you're down 2 scores. You got to get one right here. Hopefully within that 4-minute range, leaving 5 minutes on the clock, give the ball back to Ruston and get it back and give yourself enough time to get that second score. But this drive is imperative. They have to score.
You know, Nick, I'm going to say something I haven't said all night long. I want to be greedy. I want Acadiana to have a 2-play drive. We might be asking a lot, but it's time. Handoff up the middle. No, he drops back to pass. That's Bessard. Can he break a tackle? Not able to do so, but it's still a great play. It's a Wreckin' Ram first down just shy of the 40-yard line.
If he breaks that tackle, he's gone, but still a nice play. Bessard with a nice catch, airing it out on first down. I like that play. He didn't try to go for a big gain. He just tried to go for the right read, and that's what the better did. That was the right read and an impressive play.
That was an old-school pass play by the
Rams.
You fake the dive and toss it over the top to the tight end.
He knows the offense. That's what I've heard.
It's going to be quick.
First down, ball's at the 38-yard line. Handoff. Keeps it himself is the better, and he's brought down. I was expecting him to make the pitch, but he wasn't able to do so. He loses a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, he had a defender in his face, so he couldn't really make that pitch. So probably the right play to keep it in tuck there, but that's okay. Second down, you had a big gain on the first play. Nothing is lost here. I feel like the whole playbook is open right now. They're feeling good about what's going on. Got a little bit working right here. Let's see what happens.
2nd and 11. Ball at the 37-yard line to gains the 48. Handoff to Goche. Turns the corner, cuts it back upfield. Able to keep his feet enough to get some yards there. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Ball is going to be placed at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Goche keeps those legs churning. He just churns them and churns them. So he got hit like 2 or 3 times before he actually got stopped at the line that he fell at. So this is a big 3rd down play, but a nice run from Goche.
And I'll say it now, Nick. It's 4th down. It's 4th down territory here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Goche again, keeping those feet turning. He got the first down. What a run by Jonah Goche.
Turning those legs.
Going to be a gain of 5, but good enough for a Wreckin' Ram first down. Ball's going to be placed at the 49-yard line.
And look, this is a kid that has experience last year, right? He's been in these situations, these tough, hard situations where you got to get these yards, and these yards are the difference between winning and losing. You want to give the ball to Jonah Goche.
The pit bull, Jonah Goche, keeping those feet turning in a big pivotal moment for the Rams. 1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. One receiver each side, split back veer. Takes the snap. The batter's going to keep himself turning outside the corner. He's going to get a gain. They're going to keep the clock running. Going to be a gain of 8, looking like 2nd and 2. Ball's going to be placed at the 42-yard line.
I don't think that was designed. I think he read that. That was a great read. I think he was gonna give it and saw what he had outside and kind of kept it and busted it open. So a great read from the better right there to pick up a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, so 2nd and 3, ball is going to be placed at the 44-yard line. Great first down run right there by the quarterback. Ruston's going to go ahead and take a timeout right here. 6:45 left to go in the ball game. Acadiana chasing a 15-point lead, 35-20. We'll take a quick timeout with them, and we'll be back. You're watching Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back. 4th quarter football here. 2nd and 3 for the Rams. Ball at the 44. Takes the snap. Hand off to Goche. He finds a lane. That's going to be a big gain. Gain is going to be. Did he fumble that football? I think he fumbled it out of bounds. Ruston was going after the football as if he had fumbled it. It looked like he fumbled it about 5 yards ahead because Jonah Goche was laying around the 30 and the ball squeaked out.
That's good.
You're right. But either way, that's going to be a first down for the Wreckin' Rams. 1st and 10. Ball is going to be placed at the 31-yard line. 6:35 left to go in the ball game.
Kind of feels like Goche is just taking this game over, right? He's just like, look, give me the ball and let me go to work.
The pit bull himself got that dog in him. Handoff. Up the middle, stoned at the line of scrimmage by Ruston. And I'll tell you right now, they're going for that football. And rightfully so. They want to try to get a big turnover, try to put the game away. Nonetheless, it's going to be a gain of 2. Looks like 2nd and 8. Ball's going to be placed at the 29-yard line.
And that was Collins on the carry right there. And you're right. Ruston is going after that football on every play. They're punching at it. They're hitting at it. They've had some success with it, right? We saw it on the last drive where Bruno kind of dropped one. So that's exactly what they're doing. And the Rams going to have to be paying attention to that and hold on to the football tight.
Another timeout down on the field, and we'll take another quick timeout with them. 35-20. Wreckin' Rams chasing a 15-point deficit with 6 minutes left to go. Stick around for more Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Welcome back to some fourth quarter football. 2nd and 8 for the Rams. Ball is at the 29-yard line. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. The better turns the corner, breaks a tackle, and that's going to be enough for a Wreckin' Ram first down. An 8-yard run by the senior quarterback.
Second time he's made a good read, went outside and found the yards that he needed to get a big play on first down. So Caden DeBetter really in command of this offense. Your playmakers are who you're asking to make these plays, and they're getting it done. These senior leaders are what you need right now if you want to come back and win this
And
game.
Nick, let me correct myself. They're going to mark him short. Oh, well, I don't know. It has a 1. Yeah, they're going to have to call timeout here. There's a 1 on the first down marker, but the sticks is a yard short. So they're going to have to figure this out down on the field.
No surprise that they don't know what's going on.
And they will mark him short. They're going to say he was short of the stick. It's going to be a 3rd and 1 for the Rams. And should I just say it? 34 beard, just bread and butter, get the first down.
Give it to the pit bull.
And I think, the pit bull would be touching that football unless you want to give it to Parker, the bruiser back.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. They're saying he's the power back. He's going to get you that 1 yard when you need it. Let's see what he's got. Who's in there?
In there right now looks like Taden Collins and Jonah Goche.
Jonah.
3rd and 1.
He jumped.
They jumped.
Acadiana's pointing down at the Bearcats.
Yep, that's offside. He jumped.
It's encroachment. First down, Wreckin' Rams.
That's
First
right.
and 10 for the Rams.
That's the one that's
Got to take advantage of the mistakes late in the ball game.
And you know what, Cole? They have taken advantage, right? They are taking advantage of these mistakes, and then they're driving it down the field.
First and 10, ball is at the 17-yard line. Handoff. Looking for a lane. He finds one. Good gain right there around the 10-yard line. Still pushing the pile. That's going to be a gain of 7. 2nd and 3. Ball is going to be at the 10-yard line.
hurry up.
Clock is running down. You got 5 minutes left in the ball game. Again, Acadiana's chasing a 15-point deficit down 35-20.
Yeah, we got to get it in the end zone here. And when they do, they're going to have an interesting decision on whether or not they want to go for 2.
2nd and 3. Ball at the 10. Handoff. Goche. Looks for a lane, cuts it up. He's across the 5 to the end zone. He's going to be down at the 2. It's going to be a first down for the Wreckin' Rams. 1st and goal. Ball's going to be at the 2-yard line.
I'm telling you, Jonah has decided to take this game over. They're giving him the ball, and he is taking advantage of it. He's making plays and doing what he needs to do to win this football game.
Ball's actually going to be spotted at the 3, but it's still 1st and goal for the Rams. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. Can Goche get in? He does.
Signal. Touchdown.
Jonah Goche with his 3rd touchdown carry of the night, and the pit bull got that dog in him.
Yeah, I mean, he is just taking this game over. I don't know if he said something or if they just decided to give him the ball, but he's going to be the bell cow, and he got the bulk of the carries on that drive, and every time he touched the football, it was electric. Every time he touched the football, it was a big gain. It was exactly the yards they needed, and he punched it in, and that's exactly what the Rams did. And now, look, they're going for 1, just like we wanted them to do.
Yeah, at the break, we talked about it. I said, I think you take the points here, and that's exactly what they're opting to do. You'll go for 2 when you need to go for 2. The ball is a bad snap. The kick is up. The kick is good, and a credit to Ty Lamartina to get that snap off the turf and put it on a tee for Eddie Hernandez. So at 4:30 left to go in the ball game, your Wreckin' Rams are only chasing 8. A 1-score game. It's 35-27. Stick around for the finale of this ball game on Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. Here comes the kick by Eddie Hernandez. And they're going to kick it deep. And a very deep.
Wow.
Eddie, what a kick out the back of the end zone.
Wow, what a kick.
Hey, the kid's got a leg.
Yeah.
The kid's got a leg. Actually, he's got two of them. Anyway, 4:30 left to go in the ball game. The Terrible Turks have to find a stop right here because Acadiana's got to touch the ball at least one more time to get back in this game.
Well, credit to the offense, first of all, for getting down there and not laying down, right? It could have been very easy. There was multiple times where this game felt like it was going to get out of reach, and the offense didn't allow that to happen. The defense has played just well enough to kind of keep them in this game. Now we're going to see what Josh Brantley is made of, right? We've been talking all night about how Josh Brantley is the best athlete on the field. He's proven it time and time again with his passes, with his legs. He's making the right reads. He's doing everything right. The Wreckin Rams defense has to come up
I'm
with a
going to say two names right here. Valen Charles, Darius McKinley, got to take over right here on the line. Quarterback's going to keep it himself near side. Can't turn the corner, and there's the Terrible Turks defense. Gang tackling down at about the 15-yard line. Going to be a loss of 2, and the clock's going to stop right here. It's going to be 2nd and 12. Ball's going to be placed at the 18-yard line, and what a great job right there.
There was a swarm tackle. Valen Charles was in there. Amarian Cooper was in there. So, yeah, a nice first down stop there for the Wreckin Rams.
It's timeout down on the field, but we'll go ahead and keep it here. We got 4:20 left to go in the game. Again, Acadiana chasing a 35-27 Ruston lead. And, I mean, you want to talk about momentum and you want to talk about first down plays and how important it is. I mean, you got them going backwards and you're down on the scoreboard. But when your defense is making a stand like that, especially on the first play of the drive, I mean, that gives you a lot of momentum and you just got to stand tall and get it done.
It also says a lot about the character of this team, right? Not laying down, and we've talked about Brantley, and rightfully so. He's had a great game, and he's kind of done what he wants to do. And the defense could very well be like, man, we just can't stop this kid. That's not what their mentality is, right? They came out and stuffed it on first down, and they're gonna come out and do their best to try to win this football game. So that's a credit to the character of this team, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking the fight. I'm liking the fight that I saw on the offense on the last drive, and the defense so far is showing up big in this drive.
So we go 2nd and 12. Quarterback in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off up the middle looking for a lane, and he's not going to find one. Yeah. There's your Terrible Turks. He's going to get a gain of 3, but it's going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that play right there has been stuffed all night long. They have that play down pat. Whenever they try to go to that middle, it's stuffed, and the Turks are there to bring them down.
This is going to be an injury down on the field, and old broadcast partner behind me, Monty Hanks, keeps saying, watch the quarterback. And you know what? In a situation like this, I would not be surprised to see some kind of just a quarterback keep and try to hit the sideline because that has worked for Ruston all night long.
Yeah, it's worked for him. And again, when you have an athlete like Brantley, you want to put the ball in his hands and see what he can do. And, I mean, when they've done that, when Ruston's done that tonight, Brantley has made the play. He makes the right throw. He makes the right read. He runs the ball very well. So, I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if Brantley tries to do a RPO or something like that and bust a big game.
Injury down on the field. So we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout break. 4 minutes left in the ball game. Acadiana facing a 35-27 deficit. But stick around for more Wreckin' Ram Productions here on YouTube. So we're back, folks. 3rd and 8, biggest play of the ball game so far. Quarterback in the shotgun. One receiver far side. He's going to go in motion across the formation. Fakes it. Quarterback's going to keep it himself looking for the outside, and he's going to get it. Turns the corner, and there he goes. First down, Bearcats. We called it all from the get-go. He's just been doing it all night long. When the play needs to be made, he keeps him himself and he beats him to the sideline.
Yeah, just no answer. Just no answer to it right now. I mean, he's having his way with him. He busted outside, and once he's out there, he's just so much quicker than everybody else, and there's nobody there to make the stop.
Still enough time on the clock, though. 3:30 left in the game. Acadiana's got to find a way, though, to make this, we got one timeout. That's
Only
another
one
thing.
timeout,
You only got one timeout, so this is it. I think another first down would put a nail in the coffin here.
Probably so, yeah.
Under center I formation. Handoff up the middle.
Good. Get off of it.
Great job, yeah,
Get off
yeah.
of it. Get up.
2nd and 9. But I think the Bearcats will be content with that because the clock's just going to keep ticking down. Inside of 3 minutes.
Yeah, the biggest opponent the Rams have right now is the clock. The clock is just ticking. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. I think you're at the point where you're only up one score. If you're Ruston, you're going to just try to milk that clock for everything you got. And it's already down to 20 seconds on the clock, and they haven't even got the play in. So they're going to run it down to 0 every time.
I'm expecting if Acadiana makes another stop right here, like it would be another 3rd and long, you'll see the timeout there. And then we'll see what Ruston would opt to come out with. But 2nd and 9 right here. Quarterback's going to be in the shotgun. One receiver near side. Handoff up the middle. And he's going to lose yard. What a great job right there by the terrible
Matt called
Turks.
the timeout.
There you go. So that's going to push him back 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 12. Ball's going to be at the 35-yard line. I mean, you still got 2:20 on this clock.
If Brantley's going to take the ball and bust it outside, you have to be able to contain him, right? You have to just put some guys out there. I don't think Ruston's going to air it out because if they do and it becomes incomplete, that stops the clock. They want to keep that clock running. So they're going to run it somehow. I'm guessing it's going to be with Brantley. And what's he going to do? Is he going to bust it outside? He's had success busting outside the whole time, so we'll see what happens. It looks like he might be hurt.
Yeah, Monty pointed out behind me that Josh Brantley comes off the field limping. And, I mean, he's played a heck of a ball game, but, I mean, how limited are you with his feet? Normally in this situation, you try to see him try to hit the sideline, but if he's limping around, how much mobility does he have? But I'm kind of with you. I expect to see them run the ball and try to milk what's left of Acadiana's, they have no timeouts, so try to milk of what they can off the clock and give it back to Acadiana. But keep in mind, Acadiana just ran a pretty perfect 2-minute drill to end the half, so you're kind of running a gamble right there.
Yeah,
so.
they've had Ruston's had success passing the football. They found one-on-one matchups that hit big plays, so that could be something they go for. But if something happens, we've seen Acadiana intercept the ball. We've seen Dalen Lewis come up with a pass breakup. If anything like that happens, it stops the clock. And I think Ruston understands the clock's in their favor. Acadiana's out of timeouts. If they just run the ball and fall on it right now, they knock 40 seconds off of this clock.
Nick, and I'm going to say it again, he's limping. He's putting a lot of...
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to see him running the football right now.
He's limping around right here.
Go get him.
I'm expecting a handoff. I mean, we'll just keep saying it. I'd bet the house on it. Let's see. 3rd and 12 here. Handoff up the middle. And the Rams make a stop. Great job right there. They'll give them a gain of 3. It's going to be 4th and 9. And the clock is, let's see, at 2:12. So Acadiana's going to have another 2-minute opportunity to get in the end zone and tie this game up.
And they did a great job at the end of the second half to do that as well. And they made a great pass.
There's another injury down.
Looks like Acadiana's injured.
Someone is down on the field for the Wreckin Rams. I can't see a number. Medical team is on them. 2:03 on the clock, and the clock has stopped. It's going to be 4th and 9. Let's see who that was down on the field, number 5. Number 5, it looks like Gavin Coleman, the middle linebacker. But anyway, did exactly what we thought they would do, run the ball, just trying to milk as much clock off the, time off the clock as possible. Back deep to receive is going to be Russell Babineau. If there was ever a time for Russell Babineau to put his step on this game, it is right here, right now.
It looks like whatever.
Well, now he's running back off the field, folks.
What?
They had him.
You got to put somebody back.
No,
there.
Monty, they have the offense on the field right now.
What?
Ruston has their offense on the field right now. Josh Brantley is... Unless they're just going to take that's exactly what they're going to do. Nope, they're going to go ahead. They're going to run this clock all the way down, and then they're going to burn their timeout. So, hey. I didn't notice that they cranked that clock back up as soon as the injury took place.
So, okay, I'll have about probably a minute and a half, 90 seconds to get up the field.
The Bearcats are going to take the timeout. There's 1:38 on the clock, but I mean, I'll say it again. Do you punt it to that man back there?
Well, look, we talked about the special teams being the reason why this team is in there, right? We saw the block punt that got called over there. We saw a bunch of big returns. We saw the fake punt that got him a big play. So the special teams has been tremendous tonight. I think you rely on them. If you want to go after it, great. Go after it and get the block. But if not, you have Russell back there who could potentially make a big play. And I think that they're going to need to make some type of play here, either a return, a block, or something here in the special teams to get them some momentum. Because remember, in the first half, they had about 2.5 minutes. They have 1 minute less than that here in the second half. So you're not going to have enough time to work the field as much as you did the last time. They're going to need a big return to maybe get close to, if not past midfield.
Well, here we go, folks. 1:38 left in the ball game. 4th and 9. It's a high snap. It's a high punt. Straight up in the air. Peter. He definitely shaked it. It takes a Wreckin Ram by. Look at this. Wreckin Rams are going to have the ball at the 44-yard line with 1:30 to go.
That was exactly what they needed. They had to get close to midfield or past it, and that's exactly what happened. It wasn't necessarily a special teams play that Acadiana made, but just a mistake from Ruston, and you have to make them pay here. You have what is it? 1 minute and 31 seconds to go 45 yards. That's something that I feel like this offense can do.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ball is at the 44-yard line. Split back veer behind the Beto, one receiver to each side, and this is where you make your money. Be elite right here. Fake the handoff, first step drop. Try and Caden the Beto sneaks away, able to get a couple of yards. Look at that. He gets a 5-yard gain.
Hold on to that football. We
and
not want to make a mistake.
You want to talk about a kid that creates plays with his legs? I mean, that was a disaster, and he just decided to tuck it and go up the middle.
That's right. Ball security is going to be imperative on this drive. They cannot make a mistake.
2nd and 5. Caden DeBetta rolls near side, looking, sets his feet, throws to his brother. Was he inbound?
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. What a catch. And it'll be enough for a Wreckin Ram first down. That was Colin DeBetta on the catch. Big bro to little bro.
And it's going to stop the clock. That's the first time we've seen them connect tonight. In such a big spot. What a great catch from DeBetta. Great throw from DeBetta. And it stops the clock, moves the chains, and the Rams are working right here.
What's the deal here?
1st and 10, ball is going to be at the 32-yard line.
What?
Illegal shift on Acadiana.
That took him that long to do that? Are you kidding me?
So it's going to be an illegal shift on Acadiana, apparently, and that'll back him up. So it's going to be a 1st and 10. I don't know if this is
chains are moving.
Yeah, I don't think these. Yeah, there you go.
What the hell?
1:02 left in the ball game. Acadiana down by 8.
1st and 15.
It's going to be 1st and 15.
From the 47-yard line.
Handoff. Drops back. 3-step. Looking. Caden DeBetta still looking downfield, and he throws it out of bounds. That's a great play.
No.
That was not. He was.
They threw it.
The flag is been
Right
thrown.
there.
They're going to say he was in the tackle box.
He definitely wasn't, though. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's.
I personally, and you know, you're a little biased at your home. It's the home broadcast, but I personally thought he was out of the tackle box. It looked like he rolled out well enough to the near sideline.
I thought he was clearly out.
And I mean, he clearly threw it past the line to gain. So I don't understand what this call is. He was not in the tackle box. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, nonetheless, we're on the other side of the
field.
field.
They wave it off. Thank you.
Okay.
So it's going to be 2nd and 15. Ball is going to be at the 47-yard line, and I'll give him the credit on that one. I didn't understand what the flag was to begin with.
Well, yeah, it looked clearly that he was outside of the pocket, so that's a great call by the official.
3rd and 15, and Acadiana's got to cut this in half. It's 4-down territory, obviously, but you got to cut this in half. 2 receivers to the far side. Split back veer behind DeBetta.
Referees are over talking to the Rams coaches. I thought that was a 1st down play. I thought that play that DeBetta just had was a 1st and 15. So it should be 2nd and 15,
should be
right?
second.
Should be 2nd down and 15.
Scoreboard shows 3rd and 24, so I'm not gonna say that because it's definitely not 3rd and 24. Anyway, down on the field it shows a 3rd down marker. It looks like 3rd and 15. Let's just call it what it is. 2 receivers to the far side, split back veer behind DeBetta. 53 seconds left to go in the ball game. Acadiana needs a touchdown to tie. Takes the handoff, dumps it out to Goche, brings it in, trying to turn the corner. He does, but he lost his feet. It's going to be 4th and 13. I don't know if I like the play call.
No, it didn't have a whole lot of chance for success.
Here we go. This is your ball game. 30 seconds left. 3-step drop and timeout. Timeout, Ruston. The Bearcats take a timeout, and things are getting a little bit hectic. A lot of moving parts. When we get back, it'll be a 4th and 15. Like I said, Acadiana's got to find a way to get a first down to keep this game going, chasing a 35-27 score. But stick around for the finale. Wreckin' Ram Productions on YouTube. We're back, folks. 30 seconds left in the ball game. Acadiana facing a 4th and 14, needing a first down to keep the game alive. DeBetta, 3-step drop, looking, a lot of time, throws it down the field. He's got a man. He's caught at the 30. That's going to be enough for the first down.
You got to get him down.
You got to get down. The clock's running. 20. It's going to stop with 22 seconds left. But keep in mind, there is no timeouts for the Wreckin' Rams right here. Got to get on the ball, and I'm guessing spike the ball.
Got to spike it.
Caden DeBetta under center. He's gonna clock it.
Okay.
19 seconds left to go in the ball game, and what a clutch pass right there. I just don't understand the routes because you had two receivers in the same area.
They were both in the same spot. They were both wide open. Colin DeBetta and Babineau were wide open. Babineau just happened to make the play, but again, Caden DeBetta making the right read and the right throw and getting a big play. So wow, what a big play! And I mean, this has really turned out to be a great game. This is a great drive. What about the tenacity from the Wreckin' Rams to just not give up at any point in this game?
Well, I want to say how much time he had. I mean, Brody Estes, Braxton Scriber, Robert Welch, Tayshawn Benjamin, Owen Carpenter. They gave him all kind of time to get that pass off. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. 20 seconds left to go in the game. 3-step drop, looking deep. 1-on-1 ball to Babineau. Overthrows him out the front side of the end zone. Do not mind the play call, though.
Yeah.
Got to take advantage of a 1-on-1 with Russell Babineau out there.
Yeah, and at this point, everything has to be to the end zone, right? You can, I guess you can get a first down and stop the clock, but you're going to want to try to take these chances with one-on-one opportunity, like you said, with Babineau, and you pretty much take your chance. And again, the right play, the right read, just got to execute a little bit better. That's some of those first week things that are working themselves out. But, I mean, Babineau had it beat.
3rd and 10 right here for the Wreckin' Rams. Ball is at the 27-yard line, and there's no timeout, so I'm with you. It's going to be in the air. 14 seconds left to go in the ball game. Takes the handoff. Got to step up.
Oh, no.
A sack loses the game, and they bring him down.
Yeah.
Caden DeBetta gets sacked with no timeouts, and the wide receivers are not going to be able to get back. Dang it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your ball game. Acadiana just, at the end of the day, just didn't have enough timeouts. You know, you would have wanted a couple of more in your back pocket right there. Caden DeBetta takes a sack and not able to clock the ball. But I tell you what, at the end of the day, Ruston's gonna go and win this game 35-27. But truly, there's no real losers. And what I mean by that is that these are the two of the biggest powerhouses in the state that went at it in week 1. I mean, Ruston plays on the other side of the bracket. We won't see them for the rest of the year. We talked about it all game long. They have size and speed and, just the athletes to do it again. They had a perfect season last year, but hats off to them. Acadiana, though, gave them all they wanted, kind of let them do what they want in the first quarter. But from the second quarter on, I'm really impressed with what Acadiana did tonight.
Well, it looked like this game was going to get out of hand, Cole. I mean, we were talking about it on the air and off the air about, man, this lead was feeling insurmountable, and there was a chance for them to go up 3 scores twice, right? They were up 14-0 and driving the football, They were up by 15 points late in the game and driving the football, and the defense stepped up and made stops. And all you can ask yourself is to have a chance with the football and a chance to win the game. And that's exactly what Acadiana did. They had the football. They're driving down, made a bunch of big plays in that final drive. There's just not enough time to make that comeback. But a great effort from both sides of the football. The special teams was tremendous. And really the reason why the Rams were in this football game is the great plays from the special teams. And, I like a lot of what I saw tonight from Acadiana. Yeah, you come up short on the scoreboard, but, man, what an effort from the Wreckin Rams, especially with the way the beginning of the game went and where you were just getting pounded and Ruston was just doing everything they wanted. You had no answer for anything they were doing. Acadiana makes a comeback and only loses this game by 8 points. Great effort from Acadiana. And, look, these are two teams that have the aspirations of playing in the last week of the season, playing in the Superdome, and playing for a state championship. And I think they proved tonight that both of them will be worthy of that if things go their way this season.
Bright spot is who we knew the bright spot would be, and that's the Pitbull, Jonah Goche, with 3 rushing touchdowns tonight against the number 1 team in the state. You're doing this against the number 1 team in the state. I'm excited to see what you're going to do when you start getting to district play and, later into the season. It's going to be a great season for Jonah Goche. Now, hats off also to Taden Collins and Parker Bruno, who did their jobs and had strong runs in the game. But Jonah Goche, in my mind, was the brightest star tonight on the offense for Acadiana, outside of Caden DeBetta, who made plays when he had to.
Yeah, I would give the offensive player of the game to Jonah. He's going to be the workhorse. He's going to be the guy that gets most of the carries. On the defensive side, I think it was Valen Charles. He was on every single play, making every single tackle. We got to give credit to Dalen Lewis. He had a big pass breakup in the first half, had the interception in the second half, so he was great in the secondary. But I can't say enough about Charles. I think Charles is destined to have a big season. McKinley had a sack. So, the defense did what it needed to do. I thought at times they were outmanned, and Josh Brantley just proved why he's the Division I quarterback, why he'll be at Tulane next season and doing his thing. A fantastic football player and a joy to watch while he was playing against the Wreckin Rams and kind of doing what he wanted to do. But I thought the defense did a lot of good things, and when they had to come up big at the end of the game, they did and gave the offense a chance to win the game. So again, you don't win the game. Like I said earlier, Cole, we want to start winning some of these games, right? We play these tough games, these tough week 1 games against a team that might be better than you, and we need to come up and win one of these games when we couldn't get it done this week. And I don't want to shy away from these big opponents. I like these big games. I like opening up with a big opponent, but we got to come up with a W. We can't continue to come up and play against a team that might be better than us and just take the L, right? We have to come up and win some of these games.
You get a chance next week because coming to your house is the Zachary Broncos. It does not get easier, folks. You go from playing the number 1 team in the state to possibly the number, I think they're 2 or 3. Yeah. So it doesn't get easier, but it will be at Bill Dotson Stadium. It's going to be the first time with our brand new equipment up in the broadcast booth. We're excited for that. And like I said, tonight's broadcast is what we're going to be doing on the road this year. So I'm glad that you guys stuck around with us. We hope you're satisfied with what you got brought. But next week is going to be, I call it a college style or an NFL style broadcast with scoreboards on the screen and stats and the whole 9 yards. So looking very forward to being back home next week. First home game of the year. You asked me earlier, does it feel like football season? The only reason I kind of shied away from that is because we're not at home. But when I walk up to Bill Dotson Stadium for the first time when it's football season, that's when it hits me in the face like, hey, it's ready to go. It's Wreckin Ram football.
Yeah, and I think this new broadcast that we have with the YouTube and having the video and all that stuff, I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to have a good time, and I think we're in for a very special season from the Wreckin Rams this year. They didn't come out on the right side of the scoreboard in this one, but I think they showed that they're going to win a lot of football games this year.
Well, all right, folks. We said it. Listen, next Friday night at home, Bill Dotson Stadium, the Zachary Broncos come to town. It's going to be another showdown in the biggest classifications in Louisiana high school football. But tonight, the Wreckin Rams fall short to the number 1 Ruston Bearcats, 35-27. Gave them all they could handle. Really did some great things, but there are, of course, some things they can clean up. My name's Cole Gilbo, your play-by-play man. On the side of me, my good friend and broadcast partner, Nick Fontenot. For those watching at home, thank you. And for those in Ruston, have a safe trip home. As always, once a Ram, always a Ram.